No, it's still gonna be like, hey.
You're still gonna have like a 1 minute long.
Nice 2-minute stream.
Yeah.
Where everything was 0.
Yeah. Talking about Twitch being kind of twitchy lately with streaming. I don't know if it's everyone getting this issue, but when Clara's been going live the past few days, it has like a mini stream that like starts and ends immediately, and that gives her zeros on all her stats.
And then it doesn't tell me any of my actual stats from the actual stream. And the mobile live thing has just popped up, so that means...
Checking audio levels, guys, real quick, just making sure everything's okay. It sounds okay. At least I think it does. Alright, should be fine. I don't expect it to be different, but it doesn't hurt to check every time.
Yeah.
Because why not? Because the day we assume it's working just fine, we'll have something unplugged, or something will be muted, or something will be terrible, and we won't know until 2 hours into the stream, so... Oh well.
It's like anytime I come back from the bathroom or something, and I'm like so paranoid because I'll start talking, and even though you've been responding to things that I've said, and then I still look and make sure that I'm not muted.
Yeah, I got you. I would try to be pretty proactive about being like, hey, you're muted, hey, you're muted, hey, you're muted.
Yeah,
but...
I know, you always help. And it's like, but what if he had to go work on something?
Yeah.
What if he can't tell me?
Yeah, what if I'm not there?
Oh, God.
Alright.
The darkness is coming, you guys.
The darkness is coming. So, welcome back to Eternal Darkness, Sanity's Requiem, everybody. This should be the end of our chattur'gha playthrough tonight, and then we can hop right into the xel'lotath playthrough, which will be playthrough number 3, and the end of the game. So, let's get started.
Yay!
So this is all kind of old hat at this point, so let's just get right into it.
Hanging on to the back of your chair so that I do not float away.
Okay.
Because we are otters now.
That's fine.
Yeah.
Alright, so we're going into the ruins of xel'lotath, which, thanks to Gib Girl and her neat little speedrunning trick, this is our first time being here this playthrough. Well, technically that's not true. We were here as a max, but just the entrance of xel'lotath, not actually inside of it. So, if you wanted to see a cool speedrunning trick that a very nice person showed us, go ahead and watch our last stream, where we got to use a skip to bypass
all of Edward's chapter.
Yeah, the entirety of it. Yeah.
Thus saving about 40 minutes of just walking and then running out of stamina and then having to sit there.
Yep. Exactly right. Alright. I'm a little tired, guys, so if I kind of blank stare at the screen, I apologize. I'm just going to do my best to talk, but there are... Whoops. Almost forgot.
Oh, Lord.
I think it's a 7 point, actually. 1 second. Nope. Doesn't matter. Dispel area. There it is. Red Gormore. Spell magic, cause... But the other side of the arena is a magic barrier that... I actually remember this time, so I'm not gonna get there and just, forget about it.
I forgot about it.
It's not a huge deal. I mean, you might take some damage off the yellow magic floor. I don't know what this is, but it's not going to be that big a deal if you do forget about it.
The lemon floor.
The lemon floor. Lemon. Alright. Oop, losing so much time getting stuck on stairs.
Oh, God.
Help. Alright. I'm curious if I can do this from back here. I'm curious to try. Let's just see. Yeah. So the check for it actually is like, let's see. Yeah. So the check for it is legitimately like right there. I'm guessing it's where you can examine it is where the check is, but
yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah, I mean just from a coding perspective.
Still though, just
yeah, just
put it on there. It's fine.
Just put some chewing gum on it. Alright, let's get this started. And to my knowledge, there's no way to do this faster, but there probably is. So, we'll just do this the way I know how.
I mean, other than not killing unnecessary enemies.
Yeah. Are they killing them is probably unnecessary? Maybe not. I don't know. It's a matter of, is it faster to cast that spell and run full speed, or to sneak around them at, half or quarter speed?
Yeah, I think taking them out was probably the better choice there. I'm still sad about it.
Yeah.
Little guys.
Yeah, little guys. There we go. This is probably where rounding would be a big deal, because I'm obviously casting a 7-point shield to get through the next room. It's obviously very much not needed for some trips because it's not going to take away my full shield, but that's where some optimization would definitely come in. Is trying to figure out how many to cast, because casting a 7-point spell takes up a lot of time. So. Yeah. If I would ever actually get serious into looking at how to go about this game quickly, which I don't think I ever will, just from the, I don't know, I just don't think I have it in me. Maybe someday, maybe I'll change my mind, because I think speedrunning is one of the coolest things. I just think it's really neat, just on a personal level. I have a lot of respect and admiration for speedrunners. Whoop.
Yeah, the whole speedrunning thing is I'm still kind of getting into it, because, a couple years ago I was like, oh cool, they're doing speedrunning, which to me was just, play the game normally really fast, and then I saw there were all these glitches and stuff, and it's like, oh, I can beat this game in 8 minutes, and it's like, you're not beating the game, you just clipped through a wall and got to the end, and so I'm like, that's kind of dumb, and so for a while I was like that, but after playing around with a little bit, just some very basic tricks and stuff, I have a new understanding for it, plus I've watched a bunch more speedrunning stuff, so I'm like, okay, I get it now. So, it's cool.
But just to have the mental strength to play a game over and over again, and to find the optimizations and practice them, and just getting tricks down and learning where everything is.
All that timing and all the memorization and just, oh my god.
Yeah, it's
just
just
ridiculous.
Yeah, exactly. And I have so much respect for anyone who speedruns, no matter what level they are. But we'll see. This is a game I know pretty well, despite all my instances of where I do screw up. But oops, I'm stuck on a torch. A brazier, excuse me. Alright, let's see if this works. This is another tip I got from someone. I think I'm doing it wrong. Okay. So there's some way to head down and get through this, but I don't know. It's possible that I had to do it during the cutscene that played there, actually.
Oh, yeah, I think that was right. You had to...
Yeah. Oh, well. Let's try
you had
another.
to, hit start and do a thing, and...
Yeah, it was something.
Did you have to do the zombie trick again there, or was it not for that one?
I don't think it was for that one. That's fine.
I know it was for the garden fight, too, but...
Yeah. It's fine. Not a big deal. But maybe someday, because like I said, I do think speedrunning is just very cool. And this is, if I was going to speedrun a game, it'd be this, or maybe a handful of other ones. It probably wouldn't be. There aren't a ton of games I know super well enough to even be able to consider speedrunning, but this would be one of them, I think.
I would probably go with Mega Man X, honestly. Though the little bit of Metroid stuff I did was neat, but...
Yeah, you were doing it too, which is really cool.
The memorization and stuff is just, ugh.
Yeah, like where each trick is and where you have to go and how to do each trick. Yeah, like yeah.
Yeah, that one that I got stuck when you go out of bounds and then jump on those things. And oh god.
And then the one in the
I
plane.
don't know how people just hit that on command because.
A lot of practice, I'm sure.
Oh man, oh my god.
Alright.
Still though, I got that jump down pretty well.
Yeah, you did a good job of that. Darn. So there's apparently a way to bypass the puzzle in here so you don't have to do what I'm doing right now. It was just kind of described to me just very quickly in chat, so I was kind of guessing at what I was supposed to do, so it's okay. I mean, we're already past the point of it's very possible, like you said, it had to be during that cutscene or something like that, so and I'm finished with the puzzle now, so we'll just continue on. We'll just continue on. Not a big deal. Alright, so for here I can definitely do a low level shield because I only have to go to the door there. Save a little more time. Cut those corners. And there we go. I only needed 2 there. I wonder if... Huh. Nah, probably not. I was wondering if the Manta Rock ones would last longer. Somebody at work threw milk at me. How dare he?
Ah.
That's weird. Why did he throw milk at you? Or they?
Puns.
Oh. I get it. Gotcha. A little ashamed of myself I didn't catch that immediately.
You're sleepy today.
It's a joke. Yeah, I got it now.
Oh god. Used to get milkshakes spilled all over me all the time at work. Oh.
Yeah, you don't like milkshakes either, so. Well,
I like milkshakes.
Do you?
They just don't like me.
Oh, okay. Fair enough.
Milkshakes and beer.
Ugh.
It never smelled great when I came home.
I was gonna say having beer spilled on you is never good.
And then there was avocado on the floor, and that got stuck in my shoes, and that was a whole thing.
No, I drug clean beer so I could see myself doing. Yeah, alright, that's solid.
That was good.
Coming in with the punts tonight, huh, James?
My neck feels like it needs to pop, but I'm scared to try any harder.
Sorry.
Let's not get stuck this way.
Oh no. Your face will stick like that.
No. Yeah, you've been coming in with some pretty solid puns.
There's a guy at my work that likes to do bad puns.
Oh. That one by the stairs was. Oh.
They are fine.
He was just coming in to see what you were doing. He didn't want any part of this.
Oh. I'm gonna take damage off this one.
Yeah, a little bit.
Okay. Almost.
At least it only staggers you like on the first one, or once for every 3 zaps.
Yeah, it's not like just stun
locking you.
Yeah, that'd be really rough.
I think they may have had to tweak that during testing.
Probably, yeah.
Gone for days.
Yeah. Alright, let's get some health regenerating while we're doing this. Oh yeah, now for this room. Ah, jeez. Oh, jeez, Rick.
Ah, jeez, Rick.
Do I have bind leveled up? Yeah, I do. Go. Do some laps real quick while they're fighting.
So do you think we'll be able to finish this game by tomorrow night?
I don't know. Depends how much progress I get tonight, honestly.
Just trying to plan for next week.
Yeah. It's definitely possible, but I'm not going to guarantee it. We're just not going to fight either of those guys, because no reason to. Ah!
Where are you running?
Oh. That was 7
He
points.
almost got you.
He almost did get me. I'll give him an A for effort on that. Alright, let's dispel some magic. There we go.
Nice.
Thank you. And now we...
And shield.
Yeah, I need to make another shield. We'll probably... We're definitely going for 5 point through here. And then in the next room, I'll have to recast this, unfortunately. There's a trapper in here somewhere.
Come back.
I heard him.
This room is big and I have these tiny legs.
Oh.
Oh.
Alright. See if I can make it there on a 5 point.
Think it takes 6.
Yeah.
Yeah. You usually end up with 1 left.
Alright. That also might be like one of the farthest doors. So that's kind of what I was testing for, is like where, because I know some of them you can get by on a 5 point spell. Some of them you can get by on a 3 point spell, technically. But that's alright.
Yeah, the ones that are like right next to it.
Yeah. Alright. Let's go. Alright, summon, summon, summon. There it is. And back to the main world. Which room are we in now? Oh yeah, this one. This makes sense. Okay. That's fine. It's gonna do a 3 point to get out of this room because we don't need to do anything too crazy. And now we need to do the 7 point. I guess technically you could just take the hit, but again, you'd have to weigh the time it takes to heal versus how long it takes to cast a 7 point spell, and just a lot of optimization and stuff like that, which I don't know.
We're already halfway through October. How did that happen?
Right?
God.
You're supposed to wake me up when September ends. Not okay? Alright. Well, good joke.
I don't know. I became less a fan of that joke once I learned, 1, what that song was actually about, and 2, that people actually tweet at him and get all over his social media telling him to wake up.
Wake up.
It's just, oh, guys, come on.
What's that song actually about?
His dad dying.
Oh, that's too bad.
Yeah.
I didn't know that.
That's what I've seen anyway.
Yeah.
But, yeah. It's like, guys, maybe don't send that tweet.
Yeah. Not great. Good song though.
Yeah.
Wake me up when September ends.
I used to be able to play that.
Mm. Not doing anything too crazy here. We're just activating the Inga pillars, stuff you've seen me do 3 times now if you've been following the series. If you haven't, we're basically just casting a really big spell, activating all these pillars 1 rune at a time. Pretty standard magic stuff. Like we're on the last one. Yeah, we are. Nice. Very cool. Oh, almost made it through without hitting more trappers, but that's okay.
There are always more trappers.
That's right. Always money in the banana stand.
Trap you for hugs.
Yeah. Alright. Now we get to see if I made a mistake somewhere. I don't think I did, but... Can I skip this? Nope. I guess that's probably a good thing that I can't skip it, because if I did screw up, I'd be like, oh crap, where did I screw up? Alright. We gotta get through one more room, I believe. Yep. You could probably get through this room without having to reveal the invisible, but, you know. Oh wow. We still got. That's my fault for going fast. Alright, so I want to definitely go around the right side. Okay.
Gotcha.
You got me. That's fine. It's knowledge for next time.
Why isn't that guy warping over here? Why is this one always a one-way?
I don't know. Oh, you oh dear.
Problems. What?
I did not know that worked like that. Huh. Cool. Definitely not optimal, but that was still neat. How come the stupid pillar gets summoned over here and I have to walk all the way over from the other side of the portal?
There's no more room over there.
Uh-huh.
It just disintegrated that horror.
You didn't like it.
It just, oh, no.
I guess because he was standing directly on the plate, it's and like the models can't, you know, overlap. So it's just like, oh crap, kill this thing.
That's hilarious.
Yeah, I don't think my entire time I played this game I've ever done that. So that's actually really funny. I mean, I think that pattern is random, so I don't know. It's again a cost benefit of do you try and just snipe purple or do you take the blue and just, you know, hope for the best. Alright, so we're gonna save real quick and go into the final boss fight.
Yeah.
And hopefully I don't screw it up. It just saved us, so it should be okay.
I forgot to do this earlier.
Uh-oh.
It's fine. This one had a couple more days on it, but
Fine.
meant to do it today.
Spell I began 2,000 years.
2,000 years ago, dude, we just did a summoning spell like 8 minutes ago.
I have the honor of becoming the first morsel for my lord, chattur'gha.
Chattur'gha.
For the banquet your race shall provide.
You forget what it means to be human, Pious.
Lord
The human
Turks.
race will never go quietly into the darkness.
Is that a pelvis on the top of his staff?
Summoning your lord, people have struggled against
Yeah.
you. Now,
That
thanks
pelvis
to
is very
my
large.
efforts, I have 3 of the ancient's essences.
Technically, you don't have them.
Now,
You kind of plug them
Pious,
into the city.
This is the end.
I mean, look how big that is in comparison to Pious. That thing's huge.
It's from one of the big zombies.
Big zombie. And Big Zam.
No, I'm gonna pick Big Sam. That joke went on for so long that it was funny, and then it wasn't funny, and then it was funny again.
Uh-huh. It's a kind of a full circle.
And you get upset at yourself for laughing because it shouldn't be funny. Oh.
Alright, well there's Chattur'gha, crab boy. Yeah.
Lobster time is now.
They didn't know how to animate a thing that needs to walk in space, so they make him create floor wherever he is, as opposed to xel'lotath and xel'lotath, which can kind of fly.
He's fine.
Yeah.
Space lobster fight.
Yeah. Jellyfish will fight the lobster.
Eat that jellyfish.
Yeah.
Pinch it. Just grabs part of Ulial's like tendril. Just. Ow!
Quit it.
Stop!
I thought it was funny Uliup has those little floating asteroids. Alright, there's the essence of Chattur'gha. Big crab claw. His looks kind of the dumbest in my opinion.
There's just so much meat in that. You just get the little thing, and then you get the little fork, and you just, oh god.
Yeah, you seen it.
Get a little melted butter.
Oh no,
A little
no.
garlic. Oh yeah.
It's a good time.
A little bit of lemon. Squeeze it right on top. Cow down. Are you eating the old god?
No.
He's delicious. I can see through time.
I've seen it. I'll take my sanity.
I can already see that this is a horrible mistake, but I'm gonna keep eating it because it's so good.
It's so tasty and succulent. And dodged it.
Nice. Yeah.
Yeah, and start running soon enough. And whoa. We're gonna recover some sanity real quick,
I
actually.
was gonna say, you're going a little nuts.
Which is surprising that I'm losing so much sanity, but okay. Alright. Yes, Elia. Wrong way, Elia. Controls took a second to kick in there.
Yeah, I'm learning more and more how bad Uncharted is about that, because, oh dear god.
Oh, you screwed up. Oh well.
Even in the second one, which started out so strong, it is still way better than the first one. I'm still having issues with the camera angle changing and making Nate just go, Meow.
Yeah.
Okay. Guess I'll die.
I got greedy. Got greedy.
Degreed.
That's convenient.
Charlemagne.
Doesn't like it. Where's your crab claw?
Eat.
Whoop, pathing. Whoop, he got confused.
Something that was always so interesting to me about games where you're dealing with old god stuff and sanity is actually a tangible thing you can lose.
Yeah.
You know, as far as like stats and stuff.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, it's gonna cost you all of the, like, this much sanity to cast this attack or to confront this thing or something like that. And it's like, I don't know, I feel like in order to, like, once you get to the point where you're like, okay, yeah, this thing is, like, invading and causing trouble, I need to go and fight this. I think once you've decided you're gonna fight it, I think it's kind of dumb to make you continue losing your sanity. Because you've kind of made up your mind at that point that you're gonna go along with this.
Yeah, that's fair.
Like, I don't know how much of that is supposed to just be ambient. This thing is still really scaring you, but you're still gonna try to shoot it, or what, but...
yeah, I've always wondered that myself.
It's like, at that point, you're just quantifying, you're just calling fear sanity.
Yeah.
Which is very different. Frankly.
Yeah, it's, I don't know.
But then I guess if the other hand is if you are actually believing you have enough of a chance to fight, you could just make the claim that you are going insane because only an insane person would try to fight this thing.
That's fair, actually.
I don't know. I always thought that was interesting, but
Yeah.
kind of flawed.
I mean, yeah. Not a new description, but one of the things I read, one of the random things I read online, talked about the Necronomicon, and it talked about how it's so it'll eventually drive you insane. It's not that you're gonna be insane immediately. It's that like just being in contact with it just erodes your sanity over time. So even if you succeed in what you're doing and you manage to finish with it, kind of thing, like it's gonna get you eventually.
It's basically just radiation.
Yeah, which I thought was an interesting way to look at it. So I don't know.
Which is fine, and I guess that's, I don't know, that whole concept to me is ruined by having it as a quantitative, like, set amount.
Sure.
Which I know that's gameplay, you have to, trade your points in to be able to do stuff. It's a limitation of the medium, but still, just, I don't know, shower thoughts.
Yeah.
I may need to actually get around to reading some Lovecraft stuff, though. He doesn't like that.
That's fine. There we
Nice.
go.
Reload, swagger.
That and load up for the double tap.
You're next to Leoth, just aims into the sky, just shooting. Chattur'gha's like, bro, stop.
Oh, my arm! Help! Pious!
Wait,
What?
you summoned Chattur'gha.
No, I summoned Ulioth.
Okay, there, yeah, no, I forgot.
Yeah, this is the Chattur'gha playthrough. Ulioth wins,
So I was like,
yay!
no, that's wrong, no! Yeah, okay, but for whatever reason, the way that scene was set up, I don't know. Player 1's always on the left.
Yeah.
Is not so easily
Okay, we're good.
destroyed.
Can we skip this? Nope. Alright.
Nah.
No,
Get to hear Pious scream again.
it's just the beginning.
The beginning hurts!
Yeah, that scream is definitely, it's just a very stub my toe kind of scream. Or
Just angrily frustrated. Oh!
someone pours coffee on you that's too hot or something. It's just-
Yeah. At least Ulioth had some cool artwork there.
Oh god, that was like the I have no mouth and I must scream type of stuff.
Yeah.
Ooh. I want to play that game, but since I watched it all the way through, there's no.
We must find
Yeah,
this
that's not a
creature.
game that has a ton
It
of
cannot be allowed to
replayability, I don't
remain in
think.
this universe. Ah, that's the ticket.
That dialogue, it cracks me up every time. Back from whence you came, demon. Don't know why we couldn't just do that to Chattur'gha to begin with, but
He's grown too powerful.
I guess,
He's
yeah.
grown too large and unstable.
God damn it. I guess you could make the argument that since we
It is
didn't have
finally
his
over,
essence,
my dear.
like,
The ancients' plans
yeah, it was
are
too strong
finished.
for us to bind him or something like that.
now,
Which
at
is kind of weird, but whatever, sure.
proved to
But we
be
have 3 of the other
incredibly
ancients
courageous
essences, so I don't know, but
Your
whatever.
mother and father would have been proud of you, just as I am.
So a neat little thing I
sorry
didn't realize till
to be
just a
like this.
second is that there's a
It's not
cutscene
quite the
where,
inheritance I had
with
in
all
mind
the
for you.
gods at one point,
But
well,
it was so
each individual god in each playthrough,
And so
where
much to
Pius
do.
talks about how, you know, hey, this could go wrong, there could be some problems if, you know, if the old gods team up against you, they could stand against you, and each god is individually like, well, that's never gonna happen, so don't worry about it. But the
There was
teaming up
something
is us bringing each of their essences to the city Enga, using their essences to, you know, to suppress that one god. So that is the teaming up part, which is a neat thing I never thought of till just this moment, honestly.
I must look to the future. My work is not.
Doesn't really matter, but I just think it's cool.
Yeah.
Alright, that's the end of chattur'gha's playthrough, so we are down to one final playthrough, and it is the xel'lotath playthrough, which was also the first playthrough.
Again!
Yep, save and continue, please.
Metroid time is now again.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, let's see how fast I can go. Probably not that much faster. Although I will be curious to see what my time is, because I will be trying to go fast. Again, not a speed run by any means, but I will be trying to go fast. Alright, so let's get right into it. Start game. And now you see we have the chattur'gha and the xel'lotath alignments. And we would like this to carry over, very much so.
Please, God, yes.
Yep. Alright, we can skip that cutscene. I think we get to play as Alex here. As far as I know, there's no way to skip Alex's thing here. I'm gonna let the zombies eat me though and see what happens. I've never done that before. This might be a huge time loss if you can actually die in this. Like I said, I've never tried, so I'm very curious.
Prepare to be underwhelmed.
Yeah. She's blocking. Oh no.
And knockback.
They're hitting each other as me standing here.
Mm-hmm. Ew, look at her head. Ew, it's trying to track on that one zombie and it can't decide where to go.
So yeah, you straight up can't die in this. I may have been a little bit faster, I don't know.
Yeah.
Alright. So we'll go straight to the library. We'll go enter in 333 and we'll get right into the game.
I'm probably going to spill a lot of this on me and make a lot of noise.
Uh-oh. Oops.
Yay!
Yay! Oh, I actually nailed that.
Already got it all over my mouth.
Oh,
Ah.
very good.
I just want my eyes.
Just as foretold. Alright. Got the book. Skipping cutscenes.
To think that once I could not see beyond.
Cool. Now we're in Pius's tutorial land. Let's get right on into it. Oops. Well, it helps if I go down the ladder. Yes, climb down the ladder. What are you, nuts? We can probably avoid these guys too. Especially can avoid them since we don't have a sanity meter, actually. We just have to avoid getting hit in the back, because if they grab us, that'll definitely be not great. Bad. Not bad. Okay. Ah, I missed one. This happens when you go fast. I have to go back and grab one, actually. That's okay, though. There's one like right in the way here that I almost always miss because it's just slightly out of camera view. That's alright. Lost a lot of time doing that, but that's okay. Alright, up here is where, excuse me.
I was ready for you.
He was.
Oh God,
That's
nice.
fine.
I'm shocked you didn't get stuck on that.
Yeah, actually I'm a little surprised too, but it's just the little guy, so it's fine. Alright. Oops. Forget I don't actually need to examine those ones, I just need to stick the blocks in. Alright. But Pius's thing, you can go pretty fast if you just don't fight anything. You don't need, I don't think you need to fight any of these things actually, you just need to try not to get hit by them. Unless you get stuck on it like I do there. I did it again. A lot of stuff actually requires you to zoom in and like examine it, so I'm getting confused at this point now. That's okay.
It's also a Resident Evil thing where lets you examine and then goes, hey, you have the thing for this, you wanted to use it?
Yeah, exactly. Which doesn't even really... It actually does happen a couple times in this game. So this game is kind of all over the place in terms of when it what it wants, when it wants it. Because like the stethoscope, for example, you have to actually examine it to use it. And it's like, oh yeah, you have the stethoscope so you can do this. But a lot of stuff is like, you just use it like that. But the lucky penny, for example, you have to examine it. And it doesn't say you can use the lucky penny, but you can only use it while you're zoomed in on it.
Giant button.
Yeah. It's all the zombies just chilling.
They're fine.
Yeah. Crap. Oh wow. I'm actually surprised I got through that.
Nice.
Alright, I think we're at the end. Yep. And there's only one essence left. So as you can see, green is gone, red is gone, so all we have left is Squirtle.
Yeah, Squirt Squad.
Yeah.
Get the little sunglasses.
I'll let this play. Just because it's important. It's the third of our choosing of the god, so I'll let this one play. Again, it's just a palette swap with the other two, so it's not a big deal, but this one has blue. And now he's a skeleton again. And look, his skull icon's already there because that's his model. Whereas seconds earlier, he didn't have that.
But look at how sick his armor is now.
Right? All the
Eons
old gods have to have their
passed
minions
since
looking pretty fly.
then, and I have learned much. All at once, I understood. The forces of the multiverse all made
Actually can't
sense
skip this now,
under the
so-
transcending power of Ulyath. No
That
mountain
cutscene might be
too
unskippable
high,
no matter what.
no city too far. Face me,
You shall surely
and you
perish.
shall surely perish.
She's like, what an asshole. Ooh. Alright.
I cannot say what was the true beginning, nor am I.
Hey, Elia. Stuck on the brazier. Alright, don't need anything in there. Oh no, a trap. A forcefully activated trap. Didn't mean to pause that, sorry. Alright. Oh no! She looks so nonchalant, just...
It's just, more of this.
Imagine that. Okay, yes.
Tutorial time!
Yeah. Alright, we are gonna kill a few of these, just because, sanity, obviously. And also he's the tutorial one, so why not? Yes. Okay, that was my fault. I'm just going a little too fast there.
Slow down, it's fine.
Nothing is fine.
You're stressing me out.
Sorry.
just slow down, play the game,
Okay.
have fun.
No fun allowed.
No fun allowed, alright.
No fun allowed. There's no crying in baseball. Set off every trap. Actually, it doesn't really matter. There aren't any crusher walls and no stabby stabs in that one. Alright, so we got that. I'm gonna take... yeah, I'm gonna take this just in case. Again, if we were doing a legit speedrun, we definitely wouldn't take that. Just save time by running past it, but I'm gonna take it just in case because I like the ability to be able to heal if I need to. I think I get Chattur'gha last in this playthrough too, actually, now that I think about it. Like as an old god, you know?
Yeah, I think that was right, because... like, oh yeah, this was supposed to be the easiest. Oh god, I can't heal.
Yeah.
Yay!
Yeah. That'll be okay, though. It'll be okay. Okay, so overhead swing is definitely the way to go because your reset on your swing happens much faster. Whereas if I was kind of going sideways, you have to finish with the whole follow through.
Yeah.
Alright. Oops. Alright. Yep. The combination of buttons is very awkward sometimes because either. So you need to hit B to advance the chat things, but B is also exit the menu. Also, if you touch the joystick, it also exits the menu once you're at the B menu. So it's like.
Don't touch anything.
Yeah, pretty much. Okay.
She's fun. Let's walk that off.
That's fine.
Meow.
We'll let this play because I think it's funny. Just oh crap, a knife.
It's like that time I dropped that really sharp knife in the kitchen.
Yeah. Just nobody pick it up or nobody try to grab it. I hope I shot the zombie and not
Looks like it.
yeah.
Yeah, it was funny because after I did that and I was like, oh man, I really need to wear shoes while I'm cooking. I don't.
Yeah.
I don't want to put my shoes on.
I guess if you're trying to go fast, I'm just thinking out loud, you would actually just run past this because you don't need to kill either of those zombies or save that guy.
Nice.
That was an accident. Because yeah, you could just leave.
Yeah. You don't even need the sword really, but
Oh yeah, we actually are gonna kill these guys.
it's good when you're in a pinch because that blowgun is not fast.
Yeah, the blowgun is not good. Like a lot of the other ranged weapons, you can make the argument for they're actually pretty decent, but the blowgun is not. It is not one. Alright, do that real quick. What's my health like? We're actually gonna heal. It's just a 3-point heal, so might as well stack up a little bit. That's fine. Also fine. Honestly, the most annoying part about this trap is that I can't see.
Yeah, this is the worst one.
Yeah.
By far.
Also, it's annoying because you have to backtrack through. You have to backtrack through these rooms to finish that. I'll leave him up actually. There we go. And just recover some sanity just so that we don't go intensely insane.
Just a little bit.
Just a little bit. A little bit's okay. Alright, hug the wall there. And continue on our run.
What's up, Mantarok?
Yeah,
How's it going?
yeah, he's been better. Although I think he's only been cursed, suppressed, confined, I don't know. Bound, yeah, for not too long at this point. Probably.
He's only a little dead.
He's only a little dead, yeah. He's probably only a few, you guys weren't here a second ago. Alright. Probably don't need to kill you, but I'm still going to. So I can get a victory lap in. Alright, it's gone. Alright, I'm gonna try not to set off every single death trap, but I'll probably set off at least one. There's one.
Yeah, that one wasn't your fault though.
Yeah, it's like, I think unintentional.
Oh god.
That's unfortunate. Oh, I forgot this one. If you get hit by like one, it stops, because they're nice to you in the tutorial section. Except on that one.
Yeah, that one straight up kills you.
Yeah, okay, I'll take that. Ooh. Oh, I missed the thingy. Oh, gentlemen.
You know what would be really fun slash annoying to play?
Huh.
Geist.
Oh, Lord. I love the premise for Geist, but oh, Lord.
The concept is good, the execution not so much.
I played a game very similar to Geist called Messiah, where you played as a little cherub that possessed people, and
Oh, that's what that game was?
mhm.
Okay.
It was I love that game. I never knew what I was doing, but it was just so fun to play it. But yeah, I tried to play it at one point a while ago, and this is going back to like either Vista or earlier than that. And I couldn't get it to run anymore because
XP.
Yeah, no, I think the original Messiah ran on XP, and I think I was trying to get it to run on Vista or something like that.
Yeah.
I don't remember. This was years and years ago. But yeah, Messiah was a really old computer game, but really fun. I enjoyed it a lot. I'll have to look that up at some point. And yeah, you had to jump into people's backs because for whatever reason you could only possess people from the back.
So they can't fight you off.
Like, yeah, I guess so.
Can't be ready for you.
I only had one hand on my controller, and I don't know how I did that. Oh. This controller might be
Didn't
dying.
that happen last
Yeah.
time you were here?
I think this
In this
controller might
exact
be
spot?
not dying. Or maybe, I don't know.
Where is the essence of Mantarok?
So I guess the ending scene you just can't skip, or you can't skip a lot of them, because yeah, I can't skip this one either. Doesn't matter. Just thinking out loud again.
I will not ask again, child. Very well, then. You will succumb to the horrors of oblivion.
You will die in the most painful manner imaginable.
I forgot about that.
Oh, it's just yeesh.
Just.
It's just the most painful.
How are we quantifying this?
Yeah. Emotion.
I want to see the stats.
Emotionally.
Not quantifiable. Not a number.
Oh, could be if you.
No value.
Yeah, all right.
Throw all of the errors. Yeah.
Yeah. Push you away.
No.
Never get back. All right.
Thy presence is long missed, my liege.
The universe is a yawning chasm, filled with emptiness and the puerile meanderings of sentience. Why should you deserve special consideration within it, Augustus, above all else?
Is it lonely up there on your high horse?
As always, that and nothing more.
Yes, that.
My mom thinks I'm cool.
What revelations do you bring me?
My meditations reveal a
Yeah, here's the
flaw in
cutscene I
our
was talking about,
Our plan,
where
Augustus?
about the gods teaming up.
Mantarok is a shadow ebbing in the light of our glory. It and the others are slow, weak, bound by the realm of the universe. Unable to unite to fight a common foe, they will fall one by one. Unfortunately, this is beyond your understanding.
It's not that complicated.
Binding of Mantarok will seal their fate as its power over us is diminished. Such an irony that the Keeper itself be imprisoned within the walls of its own magic.
But what of its essence? Is that not the core of its remaining power?
Upon my seeping into the corporeal world, I will be the dominant over all, Mantarok included. Your worries are unfounded. You must turn your attention to Charlemagne the Frank.
The
His
Frank.
continued presence within the world is far more
Charlemagne.
serious.
Oh, Anthony, I'm sorry, bro.
As you wish, master. He will be dead before the week is out.
Okay. Charlemagne.
From my research, it is apparent that the endeavor...
Little cathedral. Back when it's a little cathedral. I'd be willing to bet if you could actually get outside the map, like to that door behind us, the rest of the cathedral would be there because video game.
Oh yeah. 100%.
Yeah. I'd be very curious to see like if you did that during Anthony's playthrough, like what is it set to? I wonder if it's set to Pete. It'd probably be set to Paul actually, because Paul and Anthony are the closest together.
The most.
But I would be curious to see what happens, you know.
You probably just fall through.
Yeah. Alright. Go upstairs and get the circle of power, because we need that. Very desperately so. Oh, well, and then we need the book first, which is also very important, but we also need the book of power. Not the book, the circle of power. Things, magic. That's how Houdini died. I should have saved that till the part where Anthony dies. That would have been a funny joke.
No, he didn't. Stop saying that. Sorry, still munching on ice.
Nah, you're fine. Alright. Oh yeah, we also need this.
All
like,
done.
Alright. Yoink. Ooh. Don't walk past it. Now you're cold because you've been eating ice. Not the slabs like a gremlin.
Don't call me out on my shenanigans.
Still doing it.
No.
Careful. Okay.
Otter.
Otter.
Mouth is all red 'cause I'm drinking Big Red.
Big Red? Yeah.
Yeah. Man, I slept so hard last night.
That's good.
I slept more, but it was already like 9. I should shower.
I felt like I had just fallen asleep when my alarm went off. Well, actually, technically my alarm didn't go off. I woke up at 5:54, and I was very upset when I looked over and saw it was 5:50. So, I don't know. Devilry. Oops. Oh my goodness, embarrassing.
Oh, he's gonna die.
Oh yeah,
Oh, he died.
that's fine. I don't think he gives us anything, does he?
Does he not?
I don't think he gives us anything.
Yeah, well,
I'm trying to remember if he does. Oh, he gives you the two-handed sword. That's right. That's okay. That's okay.
how do we forget that? Oh,
I mean, it's kind of a weird one. Oh, well. Not a big deal. I don't think you can loot it. Yeah, you can't loot it off him. That's fine.
have you saved?
Nope.
Okay.
Oh, good for you. I was expecting your head to come off. I forgot you were a beefy boy. There you
He's a little. Ah.
go. He doesn't like it. There you go.
Yay.
Charlemagne. He hates it.
Yeah, get him. No one wants to fight too.
He's gonna explode because I can't.
That's fine.
Yeah. Took that explosion like a champ, though. I'll give him that.
Yeah. Just can't handle fire, but they can handle that.
Yeah. Alright. Oh yeah, I get to try out one other trick I heard about from Give Girl. Let's see if this works. We don't need to kill him or say Andy's good enough. Oh, that's right, we can't. Okay, never mind. So, there's a way to unlock your movement there. I don't know how, but it's a speedrunning trick you can do that Give Girl was talking about, and you can just walk in behind him and you know, skip the puzzle. But
Oh, yeah, I forget about that one.
yeah, but you have to do a way to unlock your movement during the cutscene, and apparently it's some work to do that. She didn't go into detail about how it works, but apparently it is possible. So. Oh no, chattur'gha's the first one. I don't know what I'm talking about. Never mind.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Chattur'gha. Let me check my runes real quick. I'm 99% sure I have everything. Yeah, I'm good. Cool. Cool. Although if you do go into that cutscene behind me, you would definitely miss out on the scroll and the codex, which you don't need for a full play. I mean, for a speed run, obviously. Because you already know all that. Gross.
Water.
It's gross water, isn't it? Monstrous devil Katoria appears to be a found sickly liquid.
No.
I mean, they don't say what it is. It's just.
It's our tap water.
It's not that bad.
It is that bad. It is very much that bad.
But I don't think it's that bad. Alright. Moving on. This evil guy. I should have enchanted my sword, but
So,
oh well.
you have come to return.
Okay, we can do it right now. Sucks that I missed. There we go. Alright, let's get a big chunk of sanity back from killing all these guys. Let's see. Nothing else in here. Cool. Alright. Not looking great, Anthony. Oop. Darn. Good enough. Alright, trapper time. I don't think there's any way to get past this trapper without getting caught. I'm gonna try again though, going really slow and seeing what happens.
Yeah, I think he's the mandatory tutorial trapper.
I think so too. Because yeah, I think even if I tried to sprint past him, I would just set it off.
Mm-hmm.
Even though typically you can sprint past them pretty easily.
Yeah, I think the trip was up a little bit further.
I think so too. I'm just curious to see if I let him walk away from me, if I like just get sucked in. Oh no.
Oh, alright.
Okay, so it actually is possible. Okay. yeah, time for the horror fight. Time for the horror fight. Gross. We're gonna let our stamina come back a little bit and re-enchant our sword once we get here.
Get your thriller walk on.
My health, it's good enough.
Eh.
So I can't heal it, so it doesn't matter. What up? Who's a big scary boy? Yeah, the double tapping of electricity is really not good. The blue ones are always really bad. Like their proximity-based electricity attacks seem to go off a lot more than the green or the red ones do. Don't know why, but
They're the magic guys.
they are. It's just interesting. There's some skeletons. That's fine. Skeletons I can handle. I'm just gonna step on the stairs like that. Alright, well that works too. Actually, we don't even need to kill them. Just finish up the chapter. Every time. There we go. He hates it.
Well, now we have two bodies to carry.
To save him, Anthony. His fate was
Somebody get the
decided
coffin.
many centuries ago, as is the fate of this world. Despite your faith, there is little to save you from the power of Ulya.
So did he just want to be out of that body? Like, why has he decided just Kool-Aid Man out of that guy at that moment?
It's really hot in here.
Uh-huh.
Hate this thing.
Gotta do a little bit of stretching. Alright.
I was going to offer you one of these, but that would have been very difficult.
That's okay.
It's going to be as annoying as possible this playthrough.
You're fine.
Eating eyes, eating all the candy,
Oh, you're fine.
just cutting the inside of my mouth.
I'm sorry.
It kind of hurts, but I don't want to just sit here and just,
I had like 4 Werthers today. So I grabbed a pile of them, so I was just popping them, just Alright, that's what this is. I was trying to remember where I had to go next, because I get them slightly out of order. I don't know why, but I always do. Alright. Luckily, once I remember like what the puzzle is, I can typically remember what the chapter is, so I can go pretty quick once I remember that.
Dreams. Modern psychology of...
Yay, Kareem.
yay,
I'm gonna get lost in Kareem's.
big move.
Big.
Yeah.
Alright. I don't think I can save in here. Yeah, I don't think so, because the darkness... Also because they get up as soon as you go down this ladder. What's funny though is that they're like, what up? But you just go down the ladder.
They were pretty much sleeping. You ran in there and started banging on pots and pans, and they just left.
Yeah, pretty much.
Rude.
Oh, Kareem, that was so slow, buddy. So slow. That's alright, though. Just gotta heal if I need to, but I don't expect I'll be taking too many more hits until I have to fight a horror. We are gonna dodge that one, though. Oops. There we go. Yeah. Got it. Alright. We could put down the statue, but man. Oh, I don't even need to take that. I don't think I ever used it in Kareem's chapter.
Yeah, I don't think we do either. Just run around with the sword out.
Yeah. Neat. Oh yeah, the trappers. I remember trappers being in this room. Sure enough.
Bend your foot.
Yeah, I did. So moving even a little bit when they're that close. That's what I was testing, honestly. Was seeing them. Kind of testing the limits.
Threshold.
Yeah, the threshold of when they can detect you and when they can't. That's okay though. Yep. Alright. Cool. Leg down. Watch me get caught immediately by the second one that was sitting there.
Welcome back.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Good enough.
Oh.
Just no.
He was ready for you.
I left the other ones alive.
Yay.
Excuse me, gentlemen. Should kill him, actually. Oh, it's because I was facing the wrong way.
Heads.
Yeah, oh well, it's okay.
Oh, that's a chattur'gha too. Thanks. Huh. Okay.
The thing that sucks is, like, at a certain proximity, even when you're actively avoiding it, you can't avoid the electricity. It just auto-locks on. Like that. Like,
Yeah, it doesn't help if they keep putting them in really small rooms too.
got the damage rushing now. There we go. There's probably a better way to fight them, I'm just not really sure. But
He
yeah.
has decent health though, so.
Yeah, that guy definitely has two different, there's two different electrical attacks. There's the one where they actually stomp, and it's
Long range.
and it's long range, and you can actually dodge it. But then there's that there's that auto one that goes off when I'm too close to them. That's the one that I'm talking about that you can't really ever dodge, unless I'm like sprinting away from him. It just seems like I can't dodge it. I don't know. So, yeah. Something to figure out with time. I'm gonna save real quick for A, because I haven't saved this Kareem yet, and B, because I got really close to dying there. Not really close, but I got kind of close to dying there. Because horrors suck. There's a trapper under my foot. If he had targeted it, would have been okay.
Yeah.
That's okay.
Ooh, disintegrate that guy.
If it okay. If it changes to red, I'll definitely do it. But train ain't got no brakes. Excuse me. Actually, I'm gonna kill you because my sanity's not great.
Where does that other portal go?
That one back there?
Yeah.
It just heals your mana.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah, because I've never talked about it. That was greedy of me. I deserve that. Yeah, if you step on that blue platform back there, it just heals your mana up. Ha! I didn't know I could hit them with that.
He's getting some sick combos over there.
Yeah.
Ah, stairs.
Yep.
Worked out nicely for you.
Yeah, for now. Okay. I turned into a would like to do this to get some sanity to I have to do this to get some sanity. So we just get to have insane Kareem for a little bit.
Yay! We haven't had a sanity effect yet.
I exploded when I used the recover thing a little bit ago.
Oh, and I missed it.
I was gonna say like, wow, you didn't react to that at all. I just kept going because we've seen it a bunch of times. But yeah, I exploded when I healed after the horror fight.
Wait, when I was sitting here?
Yeah, you were right next to me when it happened.
Apparently not.
You may have been looking at something, but yeah, it happened, man.
I didn't even hear the noise.
I was talking kind of loud at the time, so I probably talked over it.
Oh yeah, but still like.
But yeah, it happened.
What the hell? Okay.
Hey, I can heal now. Cool. Cool. Oh yeah, the Ramdow. There we go. Oh, good lord.
Oh, the crackle.
Yeah. I also forgot to enchant my sword for the horror fight. That was a mistake on my part. I just didn't think about it at the time. God, this guy got thrown through the ringer. I'm sorry, buddy. All these guys were missing heads, and he was trying to walk through all of them. They all just took shots at him. That one's dead too. Jeez. All the sanity I can get. There he is. There's a guy here. I just can't see him. Nah, darn. Missed out on one. That's okay though. That is all right. I can't get my depth perception working though. There we go. Alright, there's wave one. I'm actually gonna switch to the Randau. Just to for the beefier boys that are coming up. Thank you. Not too bad. Cool. Oh, we even got the finisher on all of them, so we got maximum sanity. gonna stand here because I always forget where the next one spawned, but we'll see. Not bad. Finish him off immediately just to get the fight going. There we go. Cool.
Swings in there.
Yeah, I'm trying to see if there's like a weird dashing attack that I don't know about. That might be what's been happening on a few other things. Oof. Sit down.
Sit down. God. Oh, I just got here.
Yeah, exactly.
I am the one with the thing. I need to not die.
This is bad. And turning actually screwed up my targeting. This is intensely bad. Worse. Much worse. Okay.
There we go. Okay, so there wasn't technically a bone thief at Anthony's, but it was in the cutscene only.
Yeah.
Because I was like, when we were talking about that on Monday, and I was like, no, but I know there was a bone thief with him somewhere, because I associated his face with it.
Yeah.
That's what I was thinking of. But yeah, this is the first time you actually get to fight any.
Yeah.
And they suck.
They screwed me up.
Yeah, I did. A little bit.
I just got super unlucky with them. First of all, my ram down attacks were missing their heads, so that didn't work out. And then the one turning very, very slightly caused me to miss the attack on the second one, so that screwed me up real bad. And then I started getting not stun locked, but that's unfortunate. That's okay, my health is high enough. Just a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah, the door's actually hurt me there.
Yeah, unfortunately.
And then there's you.
Yeah.
You little zombie butt.
Zombie butt. Oh boy. I figured I'd be doing a lot better. I'm not doing bad, but these guys are definitely giving it to me right now. These guys are definitely giving it to me right now, and usually I'm pretty good about the bone thieves, just shutting them down.
The targeting's been messing up.
Yeah. Oh well. Let's get the ram down, enchanted, and move on. Ugh. Almost fake, that's funny.
Yeah, I wondered if your sanity was gonna...
Yeah, but that's alright. It's interesting that they did a mix of real enemies and fake enemies for this. I don't know if I've ever seen that. It's typically one of the, it's like they're all fake or they're all real kind of thing. I've never seen it do
Yeah, I
it.
was waiting for you to flash back on the other side of the door.
Yeah. What's up here? Trapper.
Babies.
Yeah.
Yay!
Oh, I remember what's in here. This is optional, but still gonna do it. I don't need to kill that one. I can just grab this and leave. It's also possible that you can just grab all of those in Michael's chapter. I don't know. I've never tried. That'd probably be something to try at some point. Cool. That worked out. Every so often I get lucky to have a good fight with one of them. I think that one's health is significantly lower than some of the other chattur'gha.
Because it's in that hallway.
Probably, yeah. Oh, damn it. I was wondering why this hallway looks so small.
Hmm.
Help. So funny. So, in case you couldn't tell, that was actually a really terrible room for it. My character was super big there. It's just funny. Because, like, in this room, it was, like, really hard to tell that, obviously.
Yeah, that was a weird camera angle.
Yeah. Oh, well. That's fine. Oops, that is... that should be fine, actually. Should be fine. I don't think it really matters. Interesting. Take it up. That's my fault. I was doing I was experimenting with side swipes as opposed to overhead strikes, so.
Gonna get you. Oh.
He tried.
No. He did his best.
Yeah.
That's sanity management, though.
Yeah, I'm trying really hard here.
It's gonna be all for naught when the bone thieves get in here.
Yeah, you're not wrong. This one's gonna be a bone.
Yep. Uh-oh.
Yep, that targeting, man. He's gonna jump on me now. I'm gonna lose a decent amount of health. That's okay. He's knocked down for a second. That's okay. I need him to jump at me again. I'm just gonna have to
So
take
he's
this.
not going to.
Yeah. I think it's also because there's something in the way. That worked out.
Cover it.
Thank you. There's also a horror now. Alright. I have a few seconds still while he's approaching me.
Hey, Kareem.
Yep.
Can't decide which way to go. There's all this stuff in the way.
Yeah. I gotta step back and heal. Worked out though. Okay.
Nice.
Thank you. A lot of good, but then the bone thief went really poorly because again, just
Those overheads weren't hitting it.
that's partially. I should have switched back to the other sword rather than the Ramdao. But the Ramdao's so good for finishing off all the other zombies. I was just happy to go with that. Alright. But not too bad overall.
Kareem,
Oh yeah, can't skip the end cutscene, so we'll get to watch this play out again. Chandra.
What happened to you?
things change, my dear Kareem. But even though my body is ravaged, I await you.
Who did this to you?
You were gone so long.
I got bored.
gave myself to a nobleman with a jealous mistress. She had me dragged from my bed.
I forgot I told you to get this thing, and then I got mad at you because you weren't there. And,
As the last blades were drawn across my body, and my blood pooled upon the floor, she cursed that I would only be with another in death.
So much for thinking only of me. You should never have left.
I have seen my folly, and have already paid dearly.
Yeah,
I
right.
see so much more now.
Cool.
In death,
I haven't read anything other
I
than
know
that.
the
Just
true
interesting.
value of the artifact which I
Just
asked you to
interesting.
find,
finally fixing it.
and it is
Hopefully.
not for us to
We'll
possess.
see.
If we are to be together again,
Oh,
you
wait.
must make a sacrifice. Only when that is complete will we be together.
Sacrifice.
Go to work tomorrow. Just
Why should I do
gonna be so cute.
anything for you?
Yeah, didn't you see the temperatures for next? Well,
You lied to me.
That one's kind of bad,
betrayed
but
me.
Yeah, I saw this weekend it's actually gonna heat up. I'm like,
You must
no.
forget the past.
yeah. Oh well.
Despite who you are now,
Oh well.
you will also
Pack
become
a long
something
sleeve
more
shirt, but I guess it won't.
justified.
Probably still should just in case because we don't know
But
what
the
it's gonna be like up there.
sacrifice must be made.
That's
We
a good
must
idea.
remain here and guard the artifact.
Oh
Dark things will come to claim it, and you must be strong to keep it
well.
from
She's still talking.
Without your sacrifice, the world will fall into eternal darkness.
You think she'd stop when she died, but here we are.
Yeah. He hates it.
Yay.
Huzzah! Alright.
Hey. Eternal Darkness 2. Electric Boogaloo.
Yeah. This Sandy's redemption.
Yeah.
These sanity effects are killing me tonight. Just,
Where's my book, though?
I don't think we're crazy enough for it, yeah. Well, actually, the book's actually a pretty low sanity effect. I don't know. It's also kind of random. Not answering.
Remember.
Don't care. That was accidental. That's fine. Blue. Just went to equip it, which I guess I technically didn't even need to do that to use it for that, but oh well.
The rat is free.
This is freedom. It's a madhouse in here. Woo!
Get out of here, spoopy rat.
I love him. Spoopy rat.
Just spoopy rat! Yeah, I saw you type that. I was like, hey, what? I just kept going. I kept looking at it and going, I don't know what. And then I looked up. Oh.
Yeah, it's Spoopy Rat Optimus Prime. What?
My liege, the future.
I wish I
is
could skip
yours.
this one. This is one where
The light in
the
the
old
age
gods
of
talk, and it's
darkness
like he says
been
the exact same thing every time, but you
The
can't
pillar
skip
of
this
flesh
cutscene.
has been constructed. The master of chaos, the keeper of the ancients, is long dead.
Is
The
he? I
planet
mean, he's
will be
kind
an
of,
alliance
but not really. I mean, he's
All
still
is
there.
prepared
I know
for
it's
your
like he's
arrival.
never gonna be the same,
I
but
will
he's not
begin the
dead.
final incantation that will bring you into
He's
our
just
world.
mostly dead. He's not. He's not quite dead.
The next millennium
A little bit.
will
We're
truly
not dead
usher in
yet.
a new
He's
age.
getting
Your
better.
guardians, now prepare the gate.
Every so often, the monk's doing the chanting, and it just bonk pops in my head, and it makes me chuckle.
Yeah.
I will not argue that I was shocked by the sudden mention.
You love it. Don't laugh at me.
It's a thing.
Don't laugh at me.
It's a, what?
I don't know. Making crap up.
Ow.
I heard that.
I was trying to bend it over on itself so it could, like, not be cutting me, but it's cutting me more.
I'm
And
sorry.
it stuck to my tooth.
Oh, that's the worst thing.
Help.
There's bullets in here somewhere. Maybe not. Maybe it's just the crank, the pump handle, the words. Yeah, they're there. Running around the table. Alright, green. The green-eyed girl. Alright, let's take some stuff. Grab. Get the thing. There we go. What up? in the house.
Back in Black starts blaring. What is this?
What is this devil's music?
I love it.
Uh-huh.
Oh god. She's gonna punch you 'cause stairs.
That is funny. See that? That's what I'm talking about. Like, there was no way for me to dodge that. I was actually running away.
Faster character, yes. Max, no.
Yeah. Fair.
We dodged it before on the other characters.
Yeah.
But yeah, Max is kind of slow.
I got stuck there. Fortunate. Ooh, I really want to get his sanity, but I'm not going to be able to. Oh. Don't know what that locked onto, but it wasn't him. Really, we're doing sanity effects right now? I've never seen that one before either. I'm pretty sure he had like a heart attack.
Yeah, I don't, I guess that's what that was.
Stop it.
There you go. Yeah, I think you locked onto that servant that was hiding in the corner or something.
Probably, yeah. I'd be very curious as to, I mean, I probably needed to enchant with blue there, honestly. Because if I had to make a guess as to how the damage in this game works, I imagine if you have the thing that's supposed to defeat it, you get 2x, like pretty simple 2x damage, 1x damage, and 0.5 damage or 0.75 damage.
Pokemon rules again.
That would be my guess, but I don't know. I mean, having them enchanted at all seems to help, like more than having 0 enchants. So maybe it's like 1.1 or something like that for the one that you're not supposed to use. But I don't know. Like, again, I've never really tested. Like, I would have to, I would have to save, do the fight, reload, do the fight, like, trying a bunch of different times to see.
Yeah, I think it just gives you a bonus, and then, yeah, like what you're saying, maybe the weaker one would be a 0.5, and then double, and then 1.5?
Yeah. Also, too, like sword versus flintlocks, and like attacking the main body versus, just all that stuff, because all those are different factors, unfortunately. Darn. I was even ready for it, too. And I was,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, and then just use this. There we go. So I just really have to make sure I'm locked on, like, completely before I even try to swing. That's fine. It's funny that I'm having such a hard time hitting them this playthrough. My other couple playthroughs, I was nailing them. So, oh well. It's fine. I'm gonna go grab some more flintlock ammo real quick. Oh, that's also where this is. It's also good that I came in here. Cool. Oh, I'm stuck on the servant.
Oh yeah, you were going in here. I was like, did you get the ammo from the bathroom?
Yeah.
There it is.
I got it.
Gotta get the bathroom ammo.
You got to.
Ugh.
Gives you +1 poison damage. Alright, we're gonna save real quick. Whoa, don't do that. A, because we haven't saved as max yet, and B, because we have to fight another horror right now, so. We're gonna enchant with... I don't know what color this guy is that we're about to fight. We're gonna go with blue. Hedge our bets. It's hard to tell because it's sepia anyway.
Yeah.
But it's interesting that no matter which side of the stairs, I think we're changing.
He's green.
Oh, I picked wrong. He might be red.
Maybe. I don't know. I just assumed he was green because he's got
Oh, does he? I can't.
Yeah.
Oh, okay, then yeah, he's definitely. He still might not be because I don't know. Doesn't matter. We'll get through it. See, he's not
the
doing.
coloring on it does look warmer, so it might be red.
He didn't do the auto electricity attack at all there. Did you see that? So like, I don't know what. Yeah, I don't know. No. I think I actually got the. Yeah, cool. So now we can recover all of our stats if we need to. I'm fine for now though. We are gravy for now. I don't know why I said that. Moving on.
Was that a weird thing for you to say?
I typically call you gravy, just like it's all gravy, not we're gravy. But I guess it's fine.
Meh.
Herp-a-derp. That's an example. And it's worked out. When you can use the wall to your advantage. And that worked out just fine. So yeah, that's fine. At least I got the bone teeth that time without too much issue. My sanity is super low even after killing all those guys.
I was worried that Bone Thief wasn't getting hit because it really didn't look like he was gonna reach all the way.
I don't think he was for the first couple of hits, and then once I readjusted, it was okay. He also can't cast spells too quickly when that happens. It just ignores that you did it. Alright. Cool. Grab some more flintlock ammo because we're gonna go down to Enga and fight, what's his face? Cool. Making good progress, actually. Alright, kill this guy, get the rune. Bankrok's probably one of my favorite runes. Just fun to say. It's a good symbol.
Also, it's the protect symbol.
It's all, yeah, also protect, yeah. Just protect me. Yay. Alright, we're gonna equip these real fast and we're just gonna pre-enchant them with good old xel'lotath.
Enter my
xel'lotath.
Yeah, that one doesn't come through very well.
I'm also gonna walk down the last few steps and try and conserve a little bit of stamina. Just a little bit, not too much. Socks. And we're back to the shrimps.
Yay, magic shrimp.
Magic shrimp.
I wonder what those taste like. Besides insanity.
What does insanity taste like? Boysenberry.
I was gonna say watermelon Jolly Ranchers.
Eh.
Because they're disgusting, but people love them.
Yeah, alright. Told you that's what my manager had in his office for a while. Was the candy. They're fine.
Ugh. They don't taste like watermelon.
They don't.
They just taste like gross. I don't even know how to explain it. It doesn't.
Yeah.
Ugh.
Just gonna snap off a piece of that and just.
The accursed accursed beast
This is the end
was
of his
dead.
chapter, so we're just gonna
Its toll on
watch
me.
him think about it.
That was but one, and there was an entire city of them. I could not hope to fight them all alone.
And none of them care that you murdered the city guard and then just left.
It's fine.
I knew there was a way.
He was kind of a slacker
I
anyway.
was gonna say that's why he was the city guard, yeah.
Hmm.
Oh, crazy Max.
I tried to tell them.
Doing his best.
Listen to me.
Oh, that's his wig.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Okay, that's funny. I wondered what happened to his wig. I figured they
I
just...
figured they took it.
Yeah, right? It's like, why would you leave him let him have it?
Instead, they jeered and threw me into the...
Oh, I can't skip that. Just not the other one. Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. Alright. Let's go get the dresser key. I think we'll see the book this time. Nope.
No
Alright.
book for you.
No book. Just knocking.
I wonder if the books only start after a certain chapter.
It's possible. I'm still not answering that phone. Keep calling. It's just a ghost telemarketer. The worst kind.
Hmm.
It paused when I paused, so I figured there was going to be a sanity effect.
Just like
Alright. That's fine. Ulioth. The number you have dialed is no longer in service.
The heart
Just,
of the inner possession.
I changed numbers, hang on.
Underestimate the power.
I'm still calling Alex. She won't pick up.
Yeah, the line is in use.
It is unguarded.
She won't pick
Presence
up
of
the
phone
phone.
causes fear. and
Pius, go
become
make her
weak.
pick up the
It has
phone.
torn entire villages asunder
I deem it.
and made the region uninhabitable.
She won't
Only the
answer my
foolish
text.
will
She
say,
left me on red.
My lord, I don't know what texts are. This is, I guess it's 2002, the texts were a thing.
Fear not.
Yep.
For centuries we have searched for something that was before us.
Relatively
all the
new
time.
still. That was kind of when smartphones,
Mantorock's essence
were still
never
relatively
left
new, I
the
would
city
say.
temple, and with it located, we are one step closer.
I guess you don't need a smartphone to text, technically you could use one of the old Nokias or something.
Yeah.
That's true.
My Nokia brick.
Nokia brick! Alright, touche. How you doing?
Okay.
Okay, good.
It's feel bad I don't really have anything to say.
I don't either,
Here.
I don't either. I'm just getting kind of loopy.
The ancients' influence was incredible.
Hey,
From all
Lindsay.
walks of life to all parts of the world, their tendrils crept and wrought their insidious damage.
Insidious damage.
Their prisons decayed constantly as their guardians' work continued.
Neat.
I discovered mention of a breakthrough in satellite radar imaging that revealed the
Surprisingly,
presence of a
this one's not
hitherto
skippable.
unknown temple mound in the
Gotta
Angkor
load
Thom
the
region
temple
of
back in.
Cambodia.
I guess, yeah.
That one takes
An
longer because of
archaeologist
all
of
the
some
traps.
repute,
Yeah,
Dr.
that's
Edwin
fair.
Lindsay, took it upon himself to investigate the area, to reveal the secrets of history. Unfortunately, the local government at the time thought differently, requiring that Lindsay find other means into the country and to finance the expedition. He found these in Paul Augustine, a collector of rare items who professed an interest in the discovery and
And
agreed
definitely
to help.
not evil.
Uh-huh. It's
After a
interesting. So,
dysentery-riddled two-week
dysentery
venture,
riddled 2 week.
Lindsay and Augustine located the remains
And constant
of an ancient
jaguar
city
attacks.
temple, dating
Or
back
else
to
at an all-time low
Yeah.
due to the constant jaguar attacks.
Yeah. Gotta watch out for him. It's interesting that Pius was even like, hey, let's go look at this thing. It's just like, why wouldn't he just kill him immediately?
Yes, this is it. It has to be. I had
expected the information to pan out.
I don't know,
Here it is.
because Pius knows where this is, because he was here, he lived here.
I have searched for it without
Yeah, but he's gotta use this guy
Here
to
all along, clouded from
do the tricks.
what could be
Yeah, alright.
ancient's insidious magic. I am very pleased.
I also think
with
it's
your
funny that Pius has renamed himself Paul Augustine instead of
so pleased.
Eh.
Give you an early
keeping the same initials
Yeah,
in case someone might recognize him.
yeah, right. I mean, Pius and Paul are kind of close, and Augustine and Augustus are very close. I can see it.
My God.
I mean, if he can transform, why didn't he make himself
are a
look something
scholar,
other than
Dr. Lindsay.
a
Not a
weird
warrior.
80-year-old guy?
In that regard, I have several centuries more experience than you.
Also with a weird robe.
Don't be a fool. Die
It's like, you know this guy's evil.
and you will.
Even if he wasn't a magic skeleton.
You cannot escape me, Lindsay. This place will be your tomb,
Okay.
just as it is Mantarok's. Guardians of Ulyath,
What?
kill him!
Okay.
I have to.
What?
Just, oh god. This job sucks.
Right. I don't think I hit him. Actually, the first one must have, because it takes 2 shots.
Yeah, that was weird. It looked like it was going up at the wrong angle.
Yeah.
It's the only time that noise is ever used.
I was gonna say, I was like, that was a very unique noise I don't remember for the rest of the game. It's getting all wavy in here. You know what that means.
Butter in my pocket's melting.
Yes. Evil hand.
Back to the screaming room.
Just does yuck 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 on Lindsay. Just ah. Oh, I never get tired of that sound effect. It's when the
It's
zombie,
oddly satisfying.
the zombies smacking the other zombies. Just. It's very nice. Just because I want to. I see you. You little bastard.
Oh,
I don't want to go to the nether realm right now.
but you love it.
Yeah, it's kind of cool, but no, I don't want to right now. Alrighty. Ooh, almost ran past that. Thank you, Rumble Controller. Tier, you love Tier.
Yeah. That's how you get the little guy.
Little guy. Look, a big guy. Just gonna take this necklace and go about my business. Bye.
Oh,
Just come back.
I was looking at that.
It's been my only entertainment for 200 years. Step on something. That's okay. I'm okay, Dad. Water free. Alright. Go ahead and get through the rest of this area. I'm just gonna let Lindsay rest for a second because he was hunched over panting for a moment there, so probably means he's
Already getting tired.
already getting tired is right. Yoink this. Really wish I could just swap these out in one fluid motion instead of having to pick it up, watch the doors close, turn around, and put the metal one back. It's like I'm aware that the doors are, I mean, I know he doesn't know that, but come on. sit down. Stop it. Stop being crazy. There we go. This guy's gonna get up because he's a cool guy. Coolest guy. Yeah. I don't know what I'm saying. I'm getting tired, guys. Sorry. Oops. And pick up this rune tablet. Nethlek. That's another. I don't know. The runes in this game all sound really cool to me. So there's probably not one that I dislike, to be perfectly honest.
Paragon.
Paragon's also really. Paragon's just good because we, you know, the joke at this point.
Really dark in this room.
Yeah, a little bit. Swing real quick.
I guess the birds are just really loud in this room because it's open in the top.
I guess, yeah.
It's consistently this room.
I keep forgetting those are fake birds. I just keep thinking they're outside. I was like, well, of course they're loud. They're outside the window. No, those are fake. Damn it. Ow.
That just rapid fired you.
Yeah, a little bit.
Wow.
I'm okay. I don't know what the hell happened with those darts, but my gosh. Just ow, 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 ow.
For all the times you walked past unscathed.
I guess, yeah,
Picking
jeez.
your moment.
Pretty much.
That was funny.
That's funny. Mantarok was just like, I'm not gonna kill you, but... I mean, come on, I set these traps up for a reason, bro.
Not angry, I'm just disappointed.
Yeah. No, it's fine. Hey, big man. I should put this a little bit further back. New spell, green. Actually, I didn't matter. Protect area, please. I'm actually also going to protect self. Do we have self? We might not have self. There it is. Do we have summon area? No, we do not.
Yeah, you don't have tier yet.
Alright, we have the thing for tier. We just don't have the rune for tier yet. Cool. No. Too fast again.
Just standing there.
Yeah.
Wall's bleeding.
That's fine. One more thing. I'm going to assign that to bottom. Cool. A lot of shotgun. We'll just end this fight quickly, actually. We have a lot of shotgun shells for Lindsay.
God. It's just mean.
Yeah, a little bit. I can pick up the victory laps. Yeah. Now, how do I find the statue lady? I don't remember which way was the statue lady. I think it was this way. Yeah.
Yes.
Thank you. I was like, nothing happened. Gotta put the bracelet on too.
Gotta accessorize first.
You got to, I mean, honestly. If you're not, just what are you doing? Trying to stop slouching so I'm not hidden out of the camera.
Yeah, I do have it kind of,
It's fine. I keep doing this, and I'm realizing that
yeah.
no one's gonna see me if I do that, so I have to keep remembering that.
I should have waited for you to get home before I was messing with that so we could actually check it before we started.
It's fine.
It's like, this is just something small I can get out of the way. Woohoo!
Reload cancel there, so we don't need to actually finish that. And we'll finish him off. And the mission clear. Yep. I'm just gonna save real quick just because we've done a lot on Lindsay and we haven't saved on him yet. Again, making safety saves. I recommend that. Pretty much every game you're playing. If you have the ability to manual save, make a safety save just in case. Because you never know what's gonna happen. For example, this man might get squished. Never mind, that's one of the choppy chops, not one of the squishers. Making my joke worthless. But picture there had been squishing things there.
Yes. Yes, very good. I pretty much stopped saving in Uncharted because it auto-saves so much.
Yeah. I mean, that's fine.
Yeah. I just think it's funny because the old menu noise was so just, ugh. Oh Lord.
Java wants to update.
How about we not do that right at this moment?
Yeah. I was wondering why your screen went dark over there, just like,
Unable to launch the Java update installer. The operation was cancelled by the user. Yeah, it was.
Makes sense.
Please don't try to do that while I'm streaming. Thanks.
Wow, that really threw me off. I just did like 6 different wrong button inputs. That's fine though. No harm done.
Thought that was gonna be a Windows needs to update and we're doing it right now. Just no!
Yeah, that'd be interesting. Just oh crap. Now while he's falling, I can
Of course, then it's like, oh, you have stuff running, so we're not gonna do it. You should schedule a time, and then you click on schedule a time, and then it doesn't let you.
Yeah. Windows. They just released not a statement, like a press release. Basically,
here's why we're screwing up so hard.
No. About
No, they wouldn't admit that.
Yeah. the new 1909 update's gonna be coming out here in sometime between now and the new year, so they don't have a hard date. But the reason it's news because they're changing the way they're rolling out updates so that it's not supposed to be as intrusive. So the way they used to do them, where they were called service packs or feature updates, where you'd have to do the full restart, and it's kind of like a partially new OS update. But with 1909 and going forward, it's supposed to be delivered in more of a service pack, so you shouldn't have to, hopefully have to restart your computer, and like it won't be as intrusive. So we'll see. That's the plan at least. We'll see what happens and how well they do on doing that. 1909 is the first one they're trying this with.
So it can screw stuff up without me having to restart first. Lovely.
Yes. But we'll see.
Work all of the OBS things. Do it.
So yeah, if you're currently running Windows 10, you're most likely on the current build of Windows 10 called version 1903. So Microsoft has the overarching version of Windows, which is Windows 10, obviously. But then there are different things called build numbers, which are like the little flavors of I won't say flavors, like the version of the program within version 10. So it's like the same as how like if you on a video game when you have a patch, it's like, oh, they're on version 1.0 or something like that. It's the same for Windows.
It's like Windows 10 is some vanilla ice cream, and then all of the extra stuff is toppings.
Yeah.
Or mix-ins.
Yeah.
Depending on where you go.
Yeah, but that's just something that, and all the updates you get are, not all of them are updates to the version of Windows. A lot of them are just patches, or literally just patches, but not enough to actually like give it a new versioning number. It'll be a patch to maybe a program within Windows. It might be. Honestly, the majority of the patches you get are either hot fixes, which are like someone found a problem and they needed to like literally fix it. It could be something extremely minor. It could be something like if these 20 conditions are met, like that you might not be able to click a button, or maybe something like mouse reactivity, or just any. There are hot fixes for literally anything and everything.
Or it could be a glaring security hole.
Or it could be a glaring security hole. What I was going to say is that the majority of the patches you get, and it's true, are security patches. So Windows keeps up with, viruses and stuff like that, and they get what are called definition updates, basically for your computer to recognize bad stuff like viruses and malware and things like that. And the security patches you get are to close vulnerabilities that might be existing on your computer. So as much as a joke as much as people will make jokes about Windows Defender and all that sort of stuff, I forget where the statue is. I'll find it eventually. Windows does a good job of putting out updates to fix vulnerabilities and exploits. The reason why expired operating systems are so bad and why Windows always wants you to get updates is because let's say someone finds an exploit to Windows so that they can remotely take control of your computer without your knowledge or intervention or anything, which is what hacking is someone manages to break into a system and find an exploit to do that. Windows will hear about it eventually, because typically it'll spread either because hackers have forums just like everyone else does. They talk about, hey, here's an exploit we found, and a lot of exploits found are actually found by security people too. So there are what are called white hat hackers, like literally white hat is the color of their hat, and that just basically means they're hackers, but they do it ethically and for the benefit of people, so that they will they'll either be hired to do so, to be an exploit detection, or they'll just try to break into a system. Well, technically, if they just do it on their own, that's a gray hat. So there's white, gray, and black hats. White is you're hired to find vulnerabilities in a system, and then you report on those vulnerabilities. And you can have white hat hackers for a wide range of stuff. It doesn't have to be just be like an operating system. It could be white hat hackers are used in a lot of just businesses, like a lot of high profit places will hire a security firm that has white hat hackers and basically say, all right, try to break into our organization or try to exploit us in whatever way you can and see how good our stuff is. And it's actually extremely fascinating to see how these guys go to work, because they will use every trick in the book, and it's so interesting to see their methods. So a very common one is that they will pose as IT guys and go in person, because the most effective hacking is actually social engineering. And if you don't know what social engineering is, it's the act of hacking a person, is what it is in a nutshell.
Pretty much. How many points do you have in charisma?
Yeah, pretty much, actually. That's a very good way to put it.
If you walk up to the front desk and you're like, hey, yeah, no, I had the password for this, but I lost it. Can you give it to me again, or something like that? And if obviously, if it's the first time that you've seen this person and you're like, no, I don't think that's right, you shouldn't have these credentials. But if you go through the effort of showing up there maybe once a week, a set time every day, and make it look like you're supposed to be there, and then you go up and ask, and like they've noticed that you've been here before, and say, okay, you look like you've been here before, you're probably okay, you keep coming back here, so you probably have a reason to be here. Yeah, sure, I'll give you the password to whatever this is. So that's just one instance of it, but...
Yeah. So a real common one is like that, where you know, they where they'll just go up to a front desk person, and they'll be wearing khakis and a polo, and they'll say, "Hey, I'm from IT. We were getting some noise on your internet line. Do you mind if we take a look at it real quick?" And that will work on probably 80% of people, because typically the average person doesn't know much about IT work or technology, knows even less about you know, internet lines or anything of that nature. They probably don't know everyone on their IT team. That's not a bad thing. That's just simply a statement of fact. Like, you probably don't know everyone on the HR team or the accounting team. It's just another team. Anything like that. And you know, if they're saying something that sounds technical enough, you know, it's like that's it. And then what they do at that point is that they will install a device that will either let them gain access to the network from that internet port, or so it depends on what they're trying to get. In most situations like that, where they're just at someone at the front desk, gaining access to the network is the first step, because most companies have have some sort of, like, so you have a firewall in place, and most people know what a firewall is. And while it is possible to get past firewalls, it's hard to do. It's not impossible. So a very common thing in security is there's no such thing as perfect security, because there isn't. Because there's always going to be a way to find. There's always a way in, but the game is trying to make something hard enough to break into that you don't want to make you want them to spend their time breaking on something else, because if you have the best safe in the world, I mean, eventually, if someone's dedicated enough, they can break into it. It's just how much time is it going to take? I mean, do they literally have to, like, drill a hole in the side of it or something like that to get through it? It's like, yes, that's a possibility, but it would take, you know, weeks and weeks and weeks. But if that's what it takes, that's what it takes. It's kind of the same idea of hacking. It's like, you could have, you know, one of the most secure firewalls, security systems in the world, and it's like, but if someone hammered on it long enough, they'd probably get into it.
It's like that prank that people pull on their kids, or I guess whoever. It's their birthday, and you get them a really big box, and so they think it's going to be something really awesome, and so they open the box, and, you know, unwrap all the paper, and they open it up, and there's a slightly smaller box, but it's also wrapped up in everything, and so it's pretty much, you try to tire them out or get them irritated enough to stop, or at least slow them down long enough to keep them from getting what they actually want. It's like, you know, with that prank, by the end, it's something like that big. And it's either, I don't know, like a fridge magnet, or or if they're just trying to mess with you, and it's actually like a key to, I don't know, a car or something. But
So back to the social engineering thing. So gaining access to the front desk computer isn't all that helpful. I mean, if the front desk person is doing a ton of, like, super important stuff, then yeah, maybe they will want that. If they're doing a whole bunch of, like, banking information or, you know, access to systems, then possibly. But in most large organizations, your front desk person isn't going to really have that much access to a ton of things. They might have access to some things, but the real benefit to doing that is that they have access to the network. And once they have access to the network, all of a sudden the firewall could be the best firewall in the world, but that little box that they have makes it so that they just bypass it whenever they want to, which is a very real thing. Like, that is a 100% real world scenario, and that's typically the first line of attack anytime one of these security firms has to do something like this. It's just, okay, let's go put on a polo and, you know, get a laminated badge, and let's see if we can get to the front desk person. And sometimes they can't, and sometimes they can't do that. Other times, so I've heard some very creative and very neat ideas. So one of my favorite stories about one of these security firms was they had a so the corporation or the company that had hired them had a gated lot that was 24-hour security guards.
Oh, that's funny. I was gonna tell this one if you didn't.
So the security firm who's trying to break in again, literally couldn't get in to do the normal shtick of hey, we're from IT, we're blah 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 blah, because they physically couldn't get access to the building because again 24-hour monitored and security lockdown. So what they did instead was they found a restaurant. Well, actually, okay, there's two stories. Same situation in both things where it was locked down. They couldn't get physical access to the building to try and social engineer the front desk person. In one instance, they found a restaurant of one of that was like nearby the building that they were trying to get into, and they noticed that the place didn't have a website. So they made a website and went and got menus from the place and they made a website for this restaurant that was fake, obviously, because the restaurant had no knowledge of it, and put malware onto the PDFs of the menu, so that and if you don't know, malware is like a virus. So what happened was they had to give it a little bit of time, but people from the company looked up the
menu.
Yeah, looked up the menu for this restaurant because it's a local restaurant. You say, oh, okay, what's on the menu? And it's like, oh, cool, they have a website. Let's look at this. Downloaded these infected PDFs and gave the security firm access to the network through these malware infected PDFs. Very, very creative, very interesting, and yeah, they were able to get in that way. The other way, which I thought was really funny, was again, same ideas. They couldn't get access to the building, so what they did is they took USB drives and they slingshotted them into the parking lot. I don't know how many they did. Probably only like maybe a few, like 2 or 3, because if you just walk out and there's a ton of USB sitting around, you're probably going to be pretty confused. And so those USB drives were, again, infected. They had Trojans on them, and a Trojan virus is like the Trojan horse from the Greeks, where you plug it into your computer and immediately it launches an attack. And to you don't see any of that. You just see it looks like an empty USB, or maybe it has some photos on it or a movie or something like that. And to you're just thinking, oh, somebody lost a USB drive, and, whatever. I got a free one or whatever. But yeah, they weren't realizing that they were infecting their network with malware that was giving these people access to their computers. So yeah.
So it just goes to show you can make your security programs the best possible, have absolutely no holes in it whatsoever, but unfortunately you can't engineer the human out of it, and that's the biggest weak point you could ever ask for.
Yeah, in security, humans are the weakest point every time. Like, designing the best security in the world, humans will always be the weakest point. That's just how it is.
We suck.
We don't suck. It's just it's a lot easier to trick.
The curiosity is
that, and it's a lot easier to trick a person than it is to trick a computer.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, he was all twitchy.
Yeah.
Oh.
He's a little guy. So.
Yeah, I like that flash drive story.
Yeah. The best thing you can do against social engineering is basically just.
If someone is asking you for information and you do not recognize them, you need to try to either get in touch with someone you know and trust who actually knows this person and can vouch for them, or
say
no.
Yeah, exactly. Just be like, hey, if someone just randomly comes up to you and says, hey, I'm from IT, I need to check something, first of all, be like, hey, no one called you, like, why are you here, kind of thing. Just, like, start questioning as to why.
Situational awareness is a good idea.
Yeah. I'm not saying you need to, like, grill anyone that, you know, is trying to help, because there are situations where IT will show up because something actually is wrong and they need to look at something. But if it's someone you don't recognize immediately, that's a huge red flag right there. Second, ask to see their badge or whatever, because most places will obviously have will have an ID of some sort. Either a staff ID or something that will show who they are. If they can't produce that, then just call, you know, even if you don't know the person, you probably know your IT's number, and then you can just be like, hey, you know, there's somebody in my office claiming to be from IT. Is this okay? Like, that's literally all it takes in most situations. And if the person says, no, it's an emergency, I need to do it right now, that is a huge red flag.
Oh, I left my badge in the car. Oh no, it must have fallen out. Sorry, come back with it.
Yeah. And then if you never see that person, if they say they're going to get their badge to prove to you and they don't come back, you need to call your security or your HR immediately. Yeah. Because basically that person was trying to gain access to your systems and they need to be alerted. If they come back like an hour later or something like that, and it's just like they literally did forget their badge, it's like, oh, okay, yeah, accidents happen. But yeah, that's asking questions just to make sure the person is who they say they are. If anyone ever tries to stress and it's an emergency or they need to do it quickly, that's another huge red flag, because social engineering relies on creating that sense of urgency that it needs to be done right then and there to basically kind of get access as fast as possible.
There's no time to think.
Yeah, exactly.
Just give me the thing.
Yeah. And those are things that you can do. You don't need to be technical to do those, to be safe about that. It's just, again, it's the same thing. It's the same deal as if, letting someone into your house to do work or something like that. If someone from the power company just randomly said, hey, we need to come inside your house right now, you're probably going to be like, why? I didn't call you. Or like your cable company. Treat them the same way. It's like, I didn't call you. I didn't hear about this. Like, why are you here, kind of thing. And
of course, in those situations, if they are actually trying to harm you, even opening the door, it's probably going to be too late at that point.
Right. I just trying to give an analogy.
But, yeah.
Although a pretty good security firm will try to figure that out before, and that you might even get a call saying, hey, we're going to stop by and check out your computer. Again, that's a lot harder to kind of figure out, because at that point, you know, they've verified that, hey, we're going to come look at your computer in like an hour or something like that, and you're expecting it, and then it's like, oh, well, they called ahead to make sure. But I mean, if they just say they're with IT over the phone, then I mean, anyone can say whatever they want over a phone. When they get there, again, you need to make sure they have the proper badge and anything like that. So that's it. A little bit of security stuff. If you want to actually be more secure as a person on your computer, that's a lot harder. But there are some very simple rules you can follow if you're trying to be safe online and not be a person that gets joked about. And I will say, you know, so full disclaimer, I do work in IT. I've worked in IT for a while now. For the most part, so first of all, most IT people will not care. We will not care about what you're doing on your computer. Like, we're in most situations, unless the guy is just kind of, I'm gonna say, power hungry, we don't care that you're on Facebook. We don't care that you're on Netflix. We don't care that you're watching whatever you're watching. It literally does not bother us in one way, shape, or the other. We're not the time police. We're not the content police. We don't care. The only time when we do care is when HR says, hey, this isn't allowed or this isn't a thing or something like that. That's the only time when we actively care. A lot of people will always be concerned because IT have administrative credentials to almost everything that they support because we need it for our jobs. Like file security is a concern, and it's like, yes, we could look at your files anytime we wanted to for a lot of situations, but again,
I just kind of want to get in there, figure out what's wrong, fix it, and leave.
Yeah, it's like think of it in this way: if you're in an organization that has 200 employees and each of you has 10 files, that's 2,000 files right there. It's like we have better things to do than to go through literally every single person's files and like rummage through them. Like it's not a concern. I mean,
it's like, no offense, you're not that interesting.
Yeah, unfortunately, yes. For the most part, yes. But going back to my original point, so IT people do make fun of users. Users are what is short for end users, which is a fancy way of saying the person who is using the computer.
Everybody makes fun of the people they have to deal with at work. Yeah. Otherwise, we would be screaming all the time.
Exactly. Like, fast food workers make fun of customers. Managers make fun of their employees. HR makes fun of the people they support. It literally just...
That is how you cope.
That is how you cope, exactly. IT has the situation of... where we support a thing that literally everyone uses every single day. So, I don't know. I've always attributed IT to being doctors of the technology world, where it's like you literally have a series of symptoms and then they try to have to figure out what's wrong. And that's not to diminish doctors' roles at all, because doctors have all the same, like, you have to troubleshoot a human being, but human beings are immensely more complicated than computers are, because you have all the symptoms and everything, but then it could literally just be that the whole thing is just the body is just broken, or for whatever reason they have this mutation that, anyway, doctors have a much harder...
Factory defect.
Yeah, exactly. I've been thinking so much I can't remember where to go now. Got the Essence of Mantarok. We got the Spice one. Where do we go next?
Paul?
Yeah, but I'm trying to remember where we get Paul's chapter from. Not piano. Piano's after Paul.
Yeah.
I just got Lindsay's book from there. Where do we go next? We went upstairs. We got the Reveal Invisible thing. We got the Summon Creature thing just now. Yeah, we have all the runes. I'll just walk around, see if I can remember.
Yeah, I'm drawing a blank right now.
Yeah. It's not the piano, which is over there. I'm not answering you. We already got the kitchen, so it's not there. There shouldn't be anything in the library.
I was thinking it was an upstairs room, but...
That's what I'm trying to think, too, but I can't think of which one it is. Because it's not this one, because we already did this one. It's not the blackout room, because we already did blackout room. We already did drawer room. Oh, wait, is it this? Yeah, it's into the hall. Yeah, that's it. Okay, I got it now. Sorry, guys. It's hard remembering, especially when we're engrossed in conversation also. So yeah, anyway, to finish out my thing, it's if you don't want to be the person that IT does make fun of, and IT does make fun of people every so often, just because everyone makes fun of everyone. There are some things you can do online just to help with that. So one of the things that, okay, so first of all, don't lie to IT. That's a big one right there. again, we don't care in most situations, whatever you were doing. If you were on Facebook and got a virus, fine, say that you did that. If you clicked on an attachment you shouldn't have clicked on, we're gonna tell you don't do that, but that's fine. Tell us you did that. Don't lie to us and say that you didn't do that, or you don't know what happened, or you said you did something when you didn't do it. Because contrary to what I would say is probably popular belief, when we are asking you to do something, there is a reason behind it. There are situations where, if you've seen the IT crowd, the guy just tells them to restart it. As much of a joke as that is, and it is a very popular joke and a good joke,
I am your master. Your task is to guard
About
the
80%
artifact
of the
before you.
time that actually fixes the problem.
Right.
Sometimes stuff just happens and you just gotta reboot.
Right. So the reason that is a legitimate strategy. That is a legitimate troubleshooting thing in IT, because when you restart your computer,
During the time of
it
the Inquisition,
A, logs you out, which is a
paranoia
big
and
thing,
corruption
and B, restarts the computer. So
fear of
logging out of your
devil
account on a computer closes all active things. So let's say you had a program in use. Let's say you had Microsoft Word in use, just as that's a pretty common one. And all of a sudden Word crashes. Like it says it crashed, or it closed unexpectedly and it's not working anymore. You try to open a Word document and it's not working. You're getting some error message. And you keep trying to open it and it keeps giving you the same error message and nothing you do is working, and you call IT and they ask you to restart. And you might roll your eyes and think, oh well, they're just asking me to restart because they don't want to work on it, or they're just blowing me off or whatever. They're not trying to. It's because of the fact that restarting actually closes what are called processes. You've probably heard that or seen that on your computer before. A process is basically a background task that a program will use to keep itself running. So in that example I used a minute ago about Word crashing, it's very possible that even though Microsoft Word, the program, crashed and is no longer running, it's possible that its process, which is probably like Word dot something, is still running and is still taking up resources on your computer. And if that's what failed, or if that has an issue still, then that's the reason why you're getting that error message about Word not working anymore, is because that process is still stuck open. And then it is possible to actually go in and manually close that process specifically, but that requires a lot more technical knowledge. It's not hard, but again, you have to know about it. And it's a lot easier on the phone to say, hey, give your computer a quick restart, because most everyone will know exactly what you're talking about, and it's an easy thing to have people do. And it's not a bad thing to do on your computer either, because when you restart your computer, it releases all... So there might be other stuff that you had open and then, closed 3 days ago, and you haven't restarted since then. It releases all the resources back to the computer so that, they can all be kind of back in the pool again. So telling you to restart is a kind of catch-all, and it, like Clora said, it will fix most issues a lot of the time, because something gets stuck, resources are too clogged up, or there's just some random thing that's happening that a restart fixes it, because it literally closes everything down, and you kind of start from scratch on this instance of the computer. So that's the reason. So if you ever call an IT guy and they ask you to restart, and then you wait 2 minutes and call them back and said, okay, I restarted it, didn't fix it, you're only wasting yours and their time, because at that point, they need to come and take a look at it. And it's a thing where, obviously you want them to take a look at it because you want it to, you want to have someone, the expert, look at it. But if you're the first thing they're gonna do is that they're going to restart your computer, because again, that's a legitimate troubleshooting step. They're not doing it just to be mean, just to try and get rid of you. They're gonna see, and if that fixes it, they're gonna know you're lying to them. I've asked people to restart their computer. They said, okay, I'll call you back. They've called me back like 5 minutes later, said, hey, it didn't fix it. I go and work on their computer, and the very first thing I do is restart their computer, and all of a sudden it starts working. It's like, well, you said you restarted the computer, but I don't think you actually did. But, oh well. That's a little bit of a rant. But anyway, yeah. Simple things you can do to try and keep yourself safe. If you get an email from anyone, even if you know the person, if it's out of the blue and it has an attachment, don't open the attachment. Just don't do it. Just immediately send them another email or call them if you know them or text them and be like, hey, I got an email from you that was either weird or nondescript or, you know, had an attachment or something like that. And, or just something to that effect. Because people's emails can get hacked, and if someone's email gets hacked, then obviously they could get an attachment sent from that email that has a really bad piece of malware in it, and once you download and open the attachment, that's probably when it'll trigger and do some bad stuff to your computer. So that's a big one right there. The second one is when you go to websites, try not to download anything. That's not always easy to do because some stuff kind of automatically downloads. Have an ad blocker is a big one, just because that can stop a lot of automatic downloads. Try to stick to websites you know, obviously. I know that's hard because you have to obviously know a website to get to know a website. But like, I don't know, that's a really hard one. That one comes with more experience in terms of, is this a website I want to trust or one that, you know, I don't know. The big one's email attachments. Just don't open attachments that you don't recognize. If you're not expecting an attachment from someone and you just get one randomly, that's a big red flag, and you can just shoot them a text or reply to the email being like, hey, I got this email from you, did you send me this? And just see if they actually sent it. If they said, yeah, it's a whatever, I wanted you to see it, or it's like, oh, it was this report that I need your opinion on or something like that, that's fine.
Yeah, if you have some other way to contact the person who sent you that rather than just emailing them back to that address, that's probably a way better way to approach that, just to make sure you're actually reaching that person, because at that point that email's been compromised, so you have no idea who's on the other end.
Yeah. But that's enough of that for now. I'm sorry to kind of IT dump on all of y'all. Talk more about the game. So we're playing as Paul right now. I don't know. It's Paul.
Paul has no health.
Yeah, Paul does have no health.
It's not great.
Yeah. Crap.
Yeah.
I'm curious. You know what? Let's use the crossbow. Let's see. Unless I go too fast.
Coming.
He's going. I got the shield up, so that's fine. Crossbow is not good. Ah, he broke the shield before I could even kill him with this.
I'm not sure if all of those hit, because there were a couple times when you shot while he was recoiling already.
Yeah, that's possible. I mean, I can see the arrow stuck in his head.
Well, yeah, some of them hit, but...
Yeah.
Like the first two didn't.
That's possible, I suppose. I don't know. Jury's out. I can see 2 sticking out of his chest and at least 1 in his head there, but they might also despawn, so... Eh.
But yeah, it's still way too slow to justify using that.
Yeah. I concur. Oh yeah, we need to do this real quick. 1 second. New spell, 3 point. I didn't need to do that, but that's okay. Summon area. Because my favorite spell. Sign. Purple. Heal. This has got magic for days. Alright, we'll just start healing while we're going back, because we need to go fight Anthony again. Who is still upset about Charlemagne.
Let it go, man.
Yeah, it's been a couple 100 years, buddy. You ain't winning that fight. Charlemagne, I failed you. Huh, that's rough, Anthony. We'll go ahead and enchant our mace with green, because we're going to fight the Bone Thief. Bone Saw is ready. Eh. 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 Okay, that one well at least.
Nice.
I think there's another one in the back.
Yeah, there is.
Or not.
So I was thinking of the big room.
I thought there was a second one in here, but oh well. I keep hearing. A curiosity. Sword area. I'm just curious. Oops, nope, can't do it. Never mind. Everything's fine. Because I don't have Pargon yet, right? Yeah, I don't have Pargon yet. Okay. It's vibrating a lot in that spot, so I was gonna see if I could like reveal invisible or something, but Hey Anthony, how you doing, broseph? Don't look too good. What's interesting is that he doesn't have the two-handed sword, actually, because I didn't get it in this playthrough.
Huh.
Huh, that actually makes this fight a lot easier.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Too much.
Yeah, I'll agree, I'll admit it. Oops, ran the wrong way. There we go. Bye, Anthony. Hey, but that's very interesting. That yeah, he doesn't get the sword if you don't. It makes sense. I was just very curious how that would handle actually. Do I have all 3? Yeah, good. Cool. There's something in here. Until by Paul's battle stance.
Yeah, now there's bone thieves in here.
Yeah, I believe it. I believe it.
3?
At least 2. No, we don't have to deal with them quite yet. We can just go in here. I got the rune stuck on the door. Mantarok's rune, not the most graceful thing going through the hallways. Just smacks into Paul. Just
doing its best.
Yeah. Now we can go downstairs. Whoa, a little wonky there on the movement. Gentlemen. I got stuck on the wall.
You sit down. Oh, the little zombie.
Yeah, I love him. Actually, I don't even need to kill these guys like the Mantarok we're running, but There. Just want to make sure he falls down so he'll decompose as I leave the room.
Yeah.
Gentlemen. Stop it. Oh, my mace disenchanted at the worst possible moment.
And you lost your Master Rock.
Oh god, everything's terrible.
xel'lotath.
Nice harmonization there. So I've been watching this new series on YouTube that I enjoy quite a bit actually. It's called Kill Count, where they look at horror movies and do what the title would suggest, where they count the kills in the movie and also kind of rate them, and it also goes through the plot too. But it's actually pretty. I'm gonna say interesting, but interesting isn't the right word. Entertaining is the right word. So yeah, if you're a fan of horror movies and you're looking for a new series to watch, the channel is called Dead Meat, and it's called the series is called Kill Count. And they just go through a bunch of horror movies, both both good horror movies and really bad horror movies.
So how many horror movies are out there that are actually considered good? More than you'd think, but less than you'd hope.
Yes, exactly that. Yes, exactly. I'm trying to think, like... Actually, I'm not sure we can do this.
Of course, that's a very subjective thing, so...
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
Alright, great one. Makes sense, but I'm just curious. Of course. I don't know. Offhand, I'd probably say, I mean, yeah, it all comes down to taste. But I could probably get to like 15 probably universally good horror movies. Before I guess I started getting into ones that are like, maybe not that one kind of thing. Like the original Nightmare on Elm Street, the original Halloween. I think those are two pretty much considered classics at this point.
Yeah, that was another thing I was gonna bring up. The things that are considered classics is...
I don't know. I don't know.
From the bits I've seen of them, I don't know, I guess it's just because I haven't sat down and watched the whole thing, so I guess I haven't gotten the full effect, but it's like, this is really cheesy.
Oh yeah, I mean a lot of horror movies are extremely cheesy, but that was the staple of them for a while too. Again though too, it's like horror has changed so much over the decades. Like Night of the Living Dead used to be, terrifying, but if you watched it now, it's...
Yeah. I guess that's what makes it so hard for me to determine that kind of thing, because...
Sure. And like you said, horror is subjective. Like, what might scare one person doesn't scare another person at all, so... a huge portion of it is just what works for you and what doesn't. Like, you and I thought PT was one of the scariest games ever, and I still think it's one of the scariest things ever. But there's probably people who are like, oh, PT wasn't that scary.
Yeah.
Those people have hearts of steel, but...
I mean, yeah, at the end of the day, none of it's real, so it's like, it can't hurt you, it can't do anything, but...
Yeah.
I don't know, stuff can still kind of, like, creep you out, though.
Oh, yeah, like, so I watched...
It's just real enough where it's like, okay, I know this could maybe be plausible.
Yeah, so, okay, so here's a little bit of personal stuff that I'm a little embarrassed about, but whatever, we're all friends here.
I was like, what? What are you pointing at?
We're all friends here. Not pointing at the camera.
Or else.
Or else. So...
I cannot get comfortable tonight, and that was my shoulder popping.
I heard that. That was quite loud.
If the mic picked that up.
That was quite loud.
That was gross.
So, I still get freaked out by horror movies, and I would say 90% of the time, I'm not afraid of the dark, but if after I've watched a horror movie or like I've even just been associated with a horror movie, it freaks me right out. Like just not being able to see into the darkness in a lot of places. Like just getting up in the morning, like I've walked out, like so I'll have nightmares some nights. You know, everyone has nightmares. But some mornings I'll wake up after having a nightmare and I'll walk out into the living room when it's, you know, early in the morning and it's dark, and I will just be so freaked out, and I have to kind of like not jog, but I have to hurry to the, you know, to somewhere where I can turn light on because, you know, it's freaking me out so bad. So there's been 2 movies recently, well, not recently, but so watching that kill count show. I saw one for a movie I'd never seen before, and it has a I'm not gonna say what the movie is, but it has the whole like Bloody Mary thing in the mirror.
Oh yeah.
And first of all, that always freaked me out super bad when I was younger. So I mean, I have a little bit of that going on. But it has, you know, again, the same sort of premise where it's like, you know, if you do that, you're just gonna get wrecked by a monster basically. And it's like, and that's freaky to me because that's something that, you know, can just happen at any time. Like, I mean, obviously you have to do the to summon the demon basically, but that's but again, and it's like, okay, it's not real, it's not gonna happen, it hasn't happened at all in my, you know, my decades of living.
But you've also never gone and done the thing, so you don't know.
That, exactly that. And it's like,
Yeah.
Why tempt fate? Crap.
Yeah, that was something that was always... Anytime I see people making posts about, no, don't buy Ouija boards, they're from the devil. No, they're from Milton Bradley.
Yeah.
Which, I mean, I guess if you want to consider them the corporate devil, sure.
Yeah. So yeah, Ouija boards don't bother me, but there's just, there is stuff, like, I'm not a super superstitious person, but,
So you get a Parker Brothers one. Which one was the authentic one? I don't remember. Sorry.
I don't know. I think Milton Bradley. I screwed up and missed a diary page somewhere.
I know you didn't pick up that book. Did you need that book?
Do I really need that stupid book? Maybe, because I feel like I have the 3. I think there's only 3 diary pages, right?
Yeah.
Okay, let's go see if I need the book. Now Paul's tired.
Oh.
I'm sorry, Paul. Are the demons too much for you?
I was gonna say something, but I thought you were skipping it intentionally.
I was, yeah. I'm just curious to see if if it's actually necessary. It might be. I've never tried skipping it before. Let's see what's even in this book. Okay, I mean, it just talks about that it's a heresy to, you know, to fake miracles, but let's see. We will do some experimentation right now and see if that book is absolutely required to advance this plot. It's also possible that I just forgot a diary page.
Well, how many do you have on your person right now?
3, 2, 1.
Yeah, I think it is just 3.
I thought so, yeah. So we'll see. But yeah, again, I'm not an extremely superstitious person, if I could say the word. But yeah, things scare me, man. And there are times when I'm just legitimately freaked out, and I get that little bit of paranoia, and you know, again, it's a why tempt fate sort of thing. So it's like I could say the magic words into the thing that, you know, in the movie summon this thing, and you know, it's like that's most likely not going to happen, but I'm still not going to try it. And the Book of Reliquaries is 100% required. Good call. Thank you.
I managed to
was going to be stuck on that for a while.
Journal, and it all points to Augustine's involvement with a paganistic cult operating inside the
I'm
cathedral.
just thinking about that picture now that's like, no Ouija boards allowed in the subway. And then just, what happened at Subway?
Oh, yeah.
Augustine himself is a heretic.
Summon all those demons to make you a good sandwich.
I was going to say they asked for an unreasonable amount of mayo.
The hand of Jude was stored here. She had those who came to see it murder.
The mayo was cursed.
The mayo was cursed.
No, they just left it out all night and then stuck it back in the fridge in the morning.
And
Gross.
with that realization, the trap
Cursed mayo.
closes. My
That's
days
funny.
here are numbered. I awoke to
It
find
was a
this
curse.
cruel
No, it
dagger
was a health
placed
code
upon my
violation.
pillow this
Which is
morning.
kind of a curse.
It could
And-
only mean one
I
thing.
don't know. Well,
I know too much.
I was gonna argue that a curse implies that you didn't really do anything to deserve it,
I can only
but then
hope
all
that
the
what
stories
little
are
faith I
about
have left
not
will
helping
help to
some
save
kindly
my
old woman
soul.
and then she curses you, so...
Please, take this thing
Eh,
away from me.
You could be, yeah, so you could be cursed for being a bastard or being a nice person too. I mean,
Or just being too nosy,
yeah, I mean,
just like Anthony.
Snow White was cursed just because, you know, she was born pretty.
Yeah. What an awful life.
I mean, you're saying about people who didn't do anything wrong. I mean, I feel like that's one of the penultimate, you know, literally doing nothing and,
Yeah,
you know,
that's true.
just like, I don't like you simply because you exist. Just like what happened to Snow White.
Hey, you're not me.
Yeah, exactly. You're not me and you're prettier than me.
I don't like it.
Yeah. Are we not going to talk about the fact that the Seven Dwarves basically drove that lady to be... I was going to say they murdered her, and I mean, they kind of did, because they chased her, like, off a cliff. So, I mean, I guess you could call it, like, suicide-esque? I don't know. I don't know.
I honestly don't remember what happened at the end of that story.
Yeah, because they chase her away from the house, and I'm pretty sure they chase her, like, off a cliff. Maybe,
Oh.
maybe I'm misremembering that, but I'm pretty sure that's what happens at the
And
end
then
of
they were
Snow
just
White.
like, well, job's done,
Yeah.
and then they just go home
Yeah,
and
that's-
continue on their merry way.
I
don't know.
I think that's what happens. I'll have to double check. I'll have to double check the Wikipedia for Snow White now, because she doesn't come back, obviously.
Yeah. But I mean, do you think if she was actually a decent witch, she would be resistant to fall damage?
I mean, yeah, I don't think she was that good of a witch. It seemed like she was more of a queen who dabbled in witchery because or alchemy, because she literally has to look up those spells, quote unquote, in her book, and they're just potions because she does the
She's more of a poison person then.
yeah.
That assassin spec, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, I really don't remember much of Snow White. I haven't watched it since I was probably like 6.
That's fine.
Maybe. I don't know. I was never very fond of that one.
I don't like it that much either, honestly. I feel like it's kind of low on the, personally, it's kind of low on the totem pole of Disney movies. But, I mean, it's fine. It's one of the first animated movies ever. It's not the first one, which is a movie factoid. Disney would love if you did say it was the first one, but there's some other movies that beat it by like a year or something like that. Some like random movie that I literally can't even remember the name of. Ooh.
Because Snow White came out in like the 30s, right?
Yeah.
Late 30s, like late
I'm pretty sure it's the oldest Disney movie by far.
Yeah, look it up.
Like feature-length film. I know Mickey's tugboat or steamboat thing
Steamboat.
is like the first something else. There's so many things that Disney has done that's like, this was the first blank, that I have trouble keeping track of that stuff, honestly. I'm trying to think what's my favorite
1937.
there you go, 37. I'm trying to think what my favorite Disney movie is. That's hard, actually, because I feel like it's changed over time.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, well, yeah. I mean, I guess that comes with being an adult, actually. Because I used to love Aladdin a whole lot, but I don't like Aladdin that much anymore because I don't like it, ironically, because the main character spends the whole movie trying to be something he's not. I know that's the point of the movie, but it also makes me not like him. Also, Jasmine's kind of a brat, and it's just like, eh.
So that's kind of a big problem I have with Disney movies, is like, now that I'm older and can actually appreciate what's actually happening during the story. Like, oh god, when I was, probably between the ages of 2 and 7, I could just watch Sleeping Beauty over and over and over and over and over. And I know that's not originally a Disney story, but, you know. And it's like, okay, you meet this guy for an afternoon, and then you decide you're gonna marry him.
Yeah.
And then just all of this stuff happens, and like, I don't know, you see a lot of recurring themes in the Disney movies, and oh, did you put the thing?
Yeah.
Did you put it all the way at the like back?
I don't know if I put it far enough back.
I meant to tell you to do that, and I got distracted.
I put it further back than I did last time, but I don't know if I put it back far enough, so we'll see.
Yeah, we'll see.
Because I didn't want to put it too far back and just miss them entirely, so I'm curious.
But yeah, like at least with a lot of the Disney princess movies, it's, oh, I met this boy, and we had an interaction for maybe like 1 to 3 hours, and suddenly my life is entirely for him, and I'm gonna forsake everything that's been given to me, and everything that, everything I've earned, everything that's been given to me, just all this stuff, so I can go be with this guy that I barely know anything about, and it's like,
Little Mermaid gets me real bad with that, man.
Yeah, Little Mermaid is awful about that, which ironically was one of the ones that I loved as a kid, because mermaid's fun.
Little Mermaid has some of the best music. Like, I know all Disney movies have really good music, but I would say Little Mermaid has some of my personal favorite songs.
Yeah.
I mean, each one has its own classics, of course, but I think on the whole, Little Mermaid has some of the best overall soundtrack. Lion King is also amazing, don't get me wrong. Alright, let's see. See if I trap these guys. Yep.
Nice, perfect. Oh, they don't like it.
Yeah, they don't. That's funny.
So yeah, it's nice to see more recent Disney movies trying to get away from that. Which of course makes some people go, and it's like, grow up.
So like I need to, yeah,
honestly,
yeah,
grow up.
I need to watch Brave at some point, because as much as Brave's like I don't know, it's like I like the idea behind Brave, but I don't like how much the character was just so. I don't know. She was so much of it. Like, she was just, I don't know.
Her existence is purely, I am independent and I need this, and it's like,
yeah.
I don't know. Yeah. Again, I don't know how much of that is our own perspective, because we're so used to seeing so much of the other that seeing the opposite of that seems like it's like too much, but
yeah. Although I will say, we just started watching somebody play, Indivisible? Is that what it's called?
Yeah.
Indivisible, and it has a female protagonist that, like, it's funny because I was saying that I don't like her because she's dumb. She's not dumb. She's a little dumb.
She's dumb.
But I thought it was interesting because...
She's like, you know, the typical male fighter role, which is, you know, the healer comes up and starts talking about, oh, this is this plane and it can do this and this, and then she's like, yeah, no, I totally knew that. Here's your thing, and then calls it the wrong name, and
yeah. And it's like she's likable. It's just funny because her character is a cliche in that she's a dumb, like overzealous person who tries to say that they know more than they do. But it's been a cliche for male stereotypes for so long. it's no, I guess it is weird. It's
It's
different.
kind of jarring to see it
Yeah, kind of.
portrayed on a female character.
Yeah, but it is. It's different and it's interesting, honestly, and it works really well. I don't for a moment. I'm not like taken out of the game, thinking like, oh man, they're just doing this to be like, you know, girl power or something like that. And there are situations in some more recent stories where it's like, okay, this was very much clearly done to empower women. Yeah. And there's nothing wrong with empowering women either. That's a great thing. But there are good ways to do it and bad ways to do it. Is that there's a term I think that hasn't been used in a long time. I use it a lot. It's called ham-fisted, where it's like there's a difference between subtly doing something and basically shoving the symbolism down your throat. And I feel like a lot of stories these days with strong women leads do ham-fisted approaches of all these men are stupid and, you know, they have no redeeming qualities, but all the women in this story are smart and are perfect and have all this other stuff. Which again, there's been a lot of male versions of that, so it's fair that the pendulum swings both ways.
I don't know. It's just interesting to see trends in, well, just the media generally. And it's nice because now kids all over, no matter your race, your gender, whatever other quality, are actually being able to have their own role models and stuff, and like,
that's very cool.
And it's interesting, one, to see all the people complaining.
Yeah.
And by interesting, I mean irritating, because again, how is this hurting you?
Yeah.
Anyway, but and it's interesting to sit back and like actually think about it, because you can just easily say, oh no, this doesn't affect me, like that didn't affect me at all. But looking back on all the games I've played and stuff, like any fighting game, they're generally like one female character. And back when I was younger, playing a lot of fighting games, not that by playing I mean mashing, but still, pretty much almost always picked the one female character, and she became my main because she was the chick. And it was a plus if she was blonde, because she looked like me. Like, it's just, I don't know, it's just interesting. Did you just first try that?
Don't know yet. We'll see if I can make it over to the door. Yep.
There you go, nice. But yeah, so like, as much as you can sit there and insist that this stuff doesn't matter, it actually does.
Oh yeah.
You just don't know about it until several years later.
No. But
moral of the story, let people enjoy things. If you don't like it, you don't have to watch it. No one's shoving it down your throat.
yeah. I'm not trying to shit on anyone. I will say that even though I will say some stuff is very ham-fisted and it feels like I'm being beaten over the head with a certain anything like that.
It's like the writing for The Simpsons for the past 10 years or so, when Homer says something stupid and then goes, oh, I'm doing this because I am a very smart guy. And it's just...
Yeah. I am not a person that is going to shit on your likes, because again, like Clara said, it's, you like it, that is fantastic. I am happy you enjoy it. That makes me, enthusiasm about someone having enthusiasm for anything is one of the best things in the world. To have someone actually have a fun conversation with them about what they love and what they enjoy and what they like seeing or talking to them about an interest is one of my favorite things in the world. It could be something that I have absolutely no interest in, because I mean, everybody's human. There are going to be things that interest them and that don't interest them, but having someone be that excited about it is just so infectious. I can't help but get a big smile on my face personally whenever I have a conversation with someone. Thank you, Alex. All right, finish this. No, my head's gone. It deconstructed. Help!
Everything is pointy in here.
Look,
I'm a torso.
Tis but a scratch. Blech.
Blech.
Moving on.
But yeah, like, it's funny talking to someone who's actually really interested in something and finally gets to talk about said thing. Cause yeah, like their whole demeanor changes. Your eyes light up, you become way more animated. I don't know, it's just nice.
Yeah. What I will...
Of course, if I don't like the thing that you're talking about, I still hold the right to criticize it, but I'm not going to, like, come up to your face and go, no, this thing is dumb and you're dumb for liking it.
Yeah.
It's just, I don't care for this thing, so I'll be happy that you're happy about it.
Yeah, exactly. Exactly.
And then go on with my day. And not sit there and think about it.
Yeah. And if you... well, the one thing I will say to that, though, is that, I am an advocate for good writing. Like, if your thing has glaring plot holes and doesn't make sense, and it's just Deus Exing all over the place, and I went in the wrong room, and again, that's my personal story. I'm going to
tear it up.
Yeah, I'm not gonna ridicule. Again, if you like it, fantastic. I like some stuff that is awful. Like, again, going back to that Kill Count YouTube series, I watched the entire. They had an entire eight-part series on the Leprechaun horror franchise.
Oh, Lord.
And those movies are not good. I love some of them to death. Like, Warwick Davis, I believe is his name. The guy, he was...
Yeah.
He's probably his best-known role is Willow in the movie Willow, which is a fantastic movie directed by Steven Spielberg, if you've never seen that. And he's a fantastic actor, and he plays the Leprechaun in the Leprechaun horror movies. Most 5 of them, I think, 5 of the 7 or 8. And those movies are not good. They're campy as all hell. They're just like they're I don't know. They're bad horror movies, but in my opinion, they're the good kind of bad, where it's just like terrible puns, terrible jokes, but they're funny regardless, and they're low budget, so some of the effects are good, some of the effects are but perfect example. It's like a lot of terrible writing happens in that movie, and it's like, why did they do this? Why did they do that? It's like, horror movie, plot holes, whatever. You could still love it, though, but, you kind of have to be open to criticism in those situations where it's like, yeah, probably not a great movie.
Yeah.
That's fine. When you're hot... When you get to the point where you're hot, you can't take criticism about your hobby or, accept that there are going to be some people who don't like it. That's when it's getting to the dangerous point.
Yeah.
It's like, if you've ever had someone, so it's like movie buffs. It's like, oh, I've never seen The Godfather, and then they get indignant that you've never seen The Godfather, or insert X classic movie here, or read classic book, or... anything of that regard. And it's like, there's some people that'll be surprised by it.
Yeah, exactly. You can express shock that, oh wow, you haven't seen that? You totally should. I think you would like it, or something like that. That's acceptable. When you go up and ask them about it every single day and then get angry about it and then, like, only talk to that person about that, you have a problem.
Yeah.
Like, you need to stop.
Alright, though. I think we've been ranting enough for tonight. Sorry if we talked y'all's ears off. But I don't know.
It took us a while to get something to talk about.
Yeah, I don't know. That was fun, though. That was good to talk about.
Warwick Davis was also Professor Flitwick.
He was.
And Griphook, which I didn't know he was both.
Yeah.
Cool.
He's been in a bunch of other stuff, too.
He's great.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's an amazing actor. I haven't seen him in anything recently, though. I don't know if he's retired or he just hasn't done anything recently.
There was apparently some other Harry Potter movie that had come out. I don't know if it was an animated thing or what, but it was listed on IMDb, and I've never heard of it.
All right, then. I'll have to
He wasn't that.
All right, I'll have to check that out later. But we made a lot of really good progress tonight. We just finished up Paul. We're going to have to do Bianchi next, which is one of my least favorite chapters, but that's okay. And then after Bianchi, we're on to Peter, I believe. think that's right. I think.
Don't we go back to?
Because I think it's Bianchi, Peter, and then it would be Edward, but we're skipping Edward. So then it'll be Michael, and then Alex.
Okay, yeah.
So we have 4 to 5 chapters left.
I was thinking we had to go back to Cambodia in order to go.
I don't think so.
But yeah, we did Cambodia, that, and then... Yeah, okay.
Yeah, because I think you're only in Cambodia twice, right? You're only there for Elia and Lindsay, as far as I remember.
Yeah, I think that's right.
Yeah, because I think each area is actually like an essence, basically. So Cambodia was Mantarok's essence. Oublier is the Greater Guardian's essence, which changes every time. And then the Forbidden City is whatever the third essence is, which is Kareem and Bianchi and Michael.
Pillar of Flesh place.
Yeah, so each place. That's another thing I never realized, that each area has its own essence, and once you claim the essence, you're done with that area. Because Peter.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Yeah.
I was going through the rotation. I was like, wait, we left one out because.
Yeah, because.
Yeah, no, that makes sense.
Yeah, so yeah, it'll be Bianchi to set us up for Michael's campaign to get the essence, and Peter will be getting the essence from Oublier in his next cathedral visit. So we're getting there. We'll definitely finish this on tomorrow. I forgot. Yeah, we're not doing Friday. We're doing tomorrow.
Yeah.
So yeah, we'll be back here tomorrow, guys. So don't forget, we're doing this tomorrow night. Cloro is streaming tomorrow in the afternoon. If you want to see some Uncharted shenanigans.
Yeah, we're getting toward the end of 2, I think. We might actually finish that up tomorrow, which, if that's the case, that game is also really short. And then we'll go into 3.
Yeah?
Yeah. That's it.
Alright.
I got nothing.
Well, thank you everyone who joined in. Thank you to anyone who said hi in chat, for anyone who followed, anything like that. We'll hope to see you here next time. Have a good night, wherever you are.
Bye.
Bye.